We said a ton we want to play our best football in December. That game was in December, and that was not our best football. Well, we have, 2 to 3 more games in December than one in January promised to us. Well, we better utilize all the things that we absolutely do not want to relive in the other games.
It's been a short week, and Christian Wilkins says there's no time to dwell on the past.
The most important thing is beating the Jets now. We got to turn the page really fast, and even faster now with a short week. So the longer we sit and think about this one, even though it was a tough loss, that's not going to do anything for anybody. So the most important thing now is today, focusing on getting better today, watching the tape, doing what we need to do, learning from it so that we can have a good week on the short week.
We're ready for Week 15. Dolphins, Jets. Time for Game Day. Uncensored. Tobin, Solana, Omar. The pregame show for real Miami football fans. On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Game Day Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in. It is Game Day Uncensored here on 560 WQAM. Tobin here with you alongside Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana, getting you ready for Week 15 against the New York Jets. A cleanser for the Miami Dolphins, although it feels like we're all being cleansed right now with all the rain that's happening down here in South Florida. Good morning, boys. How are you?
Are you saying that the Tennessee game was like a colonic?
Oh my God.
I
feel more backed up after that game. It was, I don't even know. I still can't wrap my mind
around
what I watched. It was crazy.
Simple. They got outplayed in every phase of the game. Let me. I know we got to move on to the Jets because that's what the team has been preaching about all week.
We got a lot of hours, Omar. We can dissect what the hell happened.
Okay. I'm still not over it, so let's go. Let's dive right into it, Omar.
If they hadn't recovered a fumble on a botched punt, okay, and then gotten the ball back on a bad pitch and scored 14 straight points, they were outplayed the entire game, except for those two plays, and then. Sealer's pick six. So technically, you're gift wrapped 21 points, but you didn't play well the entire game. So you technically just got beaten.
No.
How?
Because what happened to them hadn't been done in over 700 games. Okay, you didn't deserve to win, but a bad team gave you the game, and then he said, no thanks. That is what's crazy about it. That's what's tough to wrap your mind around. Yeah, I get it. Bad teams do, but we saw this with the Jets game. The last time they faced off. Dolphins, 2 straight interceptions, winding down to halftime. Somehow the Jets are like, what do you guys think about a Hail Mary your way? That's what bad teams do. Good teams take advantage of bad teams. That's supposed to be what this team does. That's the only real thing. We talked all year about, they don't have a signature win. They haven't beat the good teams yet. But what is the thing that this coaching staff and this team has rested their hat on?
We take care of business.
Take care of business. And when business is brought in front of you, when you have a can't-lose proposition, all right, all you got to do, you invest in this stock, it's going to go up tenfold. Insider trading. And you're like, why don't I just report this to the SEC? That's what happened to the Dolphins. Take them away in handcuffs.
They reported themselves in as frauds?
They said, this is too unfair. Insider trading, take us away in handcuffs. That's what that was.
So we officially got our That's So Dolphins moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
yes,
that's
yes,
out of the way.
Wait for that.
You knew it was coming at some point.
I didn't, though. I didn't think it would come
you
against
thought
a
they
bad
were
team.
a different team.
I really did. I bought into it. I bought into the damn hype. And what a difference one damn week makes, man. Seriously, what a difference one
They brought back
week
all
makes.
your trauma.
It brings back all the trauma, but Omar, also, we're headed into December. Mike McDaniel, not really that good as a coach in December. We remember last year. You want to talk about a calamity last year when they went winless in December. I know Tua was hurt or whatever, but once again,
whatever.
The ghosts kind of start to haunt you a little bit after the other night, where a 14-point lead in 2 minutes and 50 seconds disappears. You lose to Levis and the damn Titans, and here you are banged up going into the most important stretch of the season. Mike McDaniel, for some reason, refuses to run the football when it's working, and
he got 100.
You got your That's So Dolphins moment.
No, he didn't. He refuses to run the ball in the red zone, which is really annoying. Up until how about we do it after it fails a couple times? That's what's crazy about it. I don't understand that. That was weird. They all but the thing that I think is most frustrating is you wish you could just point to one thing and say, "Oh, that's the reason why." It's wow, they all had a reason in why they lost that game. Everybody, the offense, the coaching, the quarterbacking, the offensive line, the injuries, fangs, the defense. Everybody walks into that locker room and just
yeah,
what just happened? We all just, and I think it was just the case of Mostert scores that second touchdown. I think they all just thought, we just had a team gift us 14 points. They're done. They're going to go away. They fat-catted it. They thought that this thing was in the bag and that Tennessee was just going to go away. And I mean, I guess I get you, but that is how they acted in the remainder of that game when they went up 14.
I don't know if I would put that on fat-catting. I would look at that collapse from a defensive standpoint is, I'm going to name 3 individuals, and you tell me whether they're starters or backups, okay, out there on the field.
Okay.
Duke Riley.
Backup.
Brandon Jones.
Oh, backup.
What is his name? Safety, Elijah Campbell.
Backup.
Well, I mean, good stuff, special teams player.
Okay, but they're all backups. They're all on the field and on those closing drives because of injuries, and they're all playing important positions that kind of lead to breakdowns in coverage. And Kader Kohu is not a bad player, but if you looked at that game and you look closely with a magnifying glass, who did all those breakdowns? A lot of them happened to Kader Kohu, and he just got embarrassed. 2-point conversion, the underneath pass, the drag to Dig. I mean, not Diggs. Hopkins, yeah. Dig. I think about Kader Kohu trauma, and Diggs comes up.
Happens. Understood.
Yeah. It was just, and you want to say, oh, well, you should have blitzed them. Okay, blitz them and have bigger gaps in your coverage. Is that what you want to do?
Tobin, you mentioned, everybody kind of shares a little slice of the blame pie in that loss. And I'm with you, by the way, because the defense giving up 14 points or 15 points, final 2 minutes or 3 minutes is unforgivable, obviously. But I don't know, man. If we're cutting out the largest slice of that blame pie, I think it goes to McDaniel. Truthfully,
absolutely.
I agree with that.
Absolutely,
far and away more than everybody else.
We're unanimous in that.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Far and away more than anybody else, man. You could talk about offensive line, injuries. Dealing with that is obviously tough, and the bad snap with Eichenberg and you could talk about all of that, and I think Tua deserves a nice little slice of that blame pie as well. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but McDaniel, late in that game, he's the guy that doesn't ever get conservative, right? That's what he's made a name for himself as, the guy that doesn't get conservative.
Big wheelbarrow balls.
Yeah, he always has some sort of trick up his sleeve, creative play design, and Tyreek Hill goes out, and this offense couldn't have one sustained drive all game where they're able to go in and score a touchdown. Think about it. Not one sustained drive that led to a touchdown. And in the most important drive of the game, you run the ball twice and you essentially give up a 3-and-out to give Tennessee the ball back.
Well, you wanted them to run the ball, didn't you? Now it's selective.
Why is Tyreek Hill being put on the field to return a kickoff that he was never going to return? I realize that. But then the next 2 plays, the most important drive, he's sitting on the sideline. At least have him out there as a decoy. The most feared guy on an NFL field.
I think he gave you all he could give you, dude.
I think
he brought him out for 3rd down.
I think that, but I think that the drive he gave you, I think was the drive he could give you.
Yeah, listen, on that whole Tyreek kickoff return, Tyreek in the game, Tyreek out the game, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I think Tyreek decides when he goes in and when he comes out.
Which he should.
He's LeBron on the big three.
And everybody else figures it out.
Spo wasn't telling LeBron to get back in the game. LeBron just walked to the scorer's table.
Exactly. It's a situation. Like, people want to be like, well, why was he doing this? Why was he doing that? Why wasn't he there? Why wasn't he there? Like, I'm sorry. Like, even today, Tyreek is going to decide whether he plays or not.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And then Tyreek is going to decide if he's in the game or not. And I don't have a problem with that either.
But I think,
a week ago we were talking about him being an MVP candidate, maybe a front runner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, call your shots.
I think that he gave you the drives that he could give you, and I think that the drives that he was just out there, he was probably just out there.
Like, they could sit here and they could talk about, Tyreek. That was a game plan for Tyreek to return the kickoff. Ask me, the person who watches practice on a daily basis, how many times I've seen Tyreek Hill handle a kickoff?
How many?
0.
Oh, okay.
But but Omar, that's my
in
point.
practice. 0.
That's my point. Like, he's not actually going to return that kickoff. That was going to be a fair catch, or 99% of the time.
Hell no.
I truly believe that.
No.
I don't think there was a chance in hell he was actually going to try to return that kickoff.
No, I think he was.
But if he's comfortable enough to be out there to return that kickoff, you're telling me on the most important drive of the game, you're going to have him on first and second down when he's your biggest decoy. He's the most feared guy in the NFL when he's on the field in motion. Have him out there as a decoy. That way, when you're running the outside zone, the defense has to be worrisome of Tyreek Hill in motion.
Bro,
the most important
if
drive
he didn't
of the
go
game.
in, he couldn't go.
And you just you hand it off like a Madden playbook, the first 2 plays, and you essentially give up that drive.
Didn't you want them to run? You can't be selective.
Omar, most important drive of the game, Mike McDaniel gave them the ball back. Gave them the ball back without taking any time off the clock.
I think the thing that's interesting with Mike is, like, listening to this week, the guy already sound like, I don't know if he hasn't slept, I don't know what, but like the guy who usually has a slick pep in his step, don't hear that guy this week as much. Like, I think a guy that is really searching for stuff. I know he's got a lot of injuries to deal with, but
a lot.
This guy has talked the entire season about this part of the season.
Correct.
And it feels like they're less ready for it, because that, like, even another, fellas, we were at the same point last year, and look, we got to win in December. It's like, all right, cool. But you got to keep racking that up. You got to the whole point of this stretch, we all knew this, is you were going to be a tough start to this year, a lot of road games, some tough competition. You are going to have this stretch to really fatten up your record and get yourself to a point where you're going to leave yourself some margin for error. And on top of that, not really. You can't say you had a 14-point lead, something that's happened 700 times where no team has done that, and that you've taken advantage of it. No, you didn't. You blew a home game in prime time where you should have set yourself up for double-digit wins coming into this game to set yourself up for 11 wins, and instead what you did was you gave the Bills life.
You took an L. You took an L, and that's all it is. You took an L. Okay, put it in perspective. Now, you talked about Mike McDaniel's tiredness, his lack of zingers. Let me go over all the things that he's got to address this week. Okay, playing potentially with 4 backups on your offensive line and the center who's had 1 practice with the team. Okay, that's crisis number 1. Okay, crisis number 2 is potentially playing without Tyreek Hill, who you basically know can maybe run straight line but can't cut.
That's a big crisis.
It kind of focal point of your offense. Crisis number 3, Devon Achane, who's probably your 3rd best, 4th best offensive weapon. Got turf toe. Backs with turf toe, never good. Crisis number 4, you're back to your secondary, which just got carved up like Swiss cheese by a rookie quarterback, is potentially now playing with 2 inexperienced special teams players, one of which is a disaster in coverage, and keeps hurting his own players. Okay, so tell me which one of these is an easy crisis to fix.
Right. Well, here's the thing. It's nice. The only one that you've said, though, that he hasn't dealt with already this year is Tyreek Hill being out. It's the only one he hasn't dealt with. Devon Achane.
No, he's had at least one of his starting safeties. This is both.
Devon Achane has been hurt all year, basically. He has been playing the O-line shuffle game all season long.
But not with 4 backups and a center that's never played.
He's probably going to have 3
one day,
and one of them means Eichenberg's probably not going to play, which in my mind is positive. Yeah,
How
that's
dare
right.
you?
No, no. You want to tell him something?
How
You wanna know
dare,
something?
how
You wanna know
dare
something?
you?
He stinks.
Here we
I'll
go.
tell you.
Listen,
I
listen.
gave him. You know what?
No,
I got
no.
duped in
You're
by
not gonna
Austin
do it.
Jackson.
You're not gonna do
Oh,
this.
I am going to do this.
You're
I am going to do
not
this.
gonna do
I
this.
got duped in by Austin Jackson's extension. I said, "Oh, anybody can bounce back." That dude sucks. I knew he sucked. He snapped the ball right into his gooch. All right. He ruined the first drive. He stinks. He stinks.
Hey,
we all got. Oh,
I will
maybe
tell you
Liam
right
can turn it
now.
around.
I will tell you right now. If Jonathan Harris isn't good, this season is in Eichenberg's hands, and you better
God.
suck it up.
Well, guess what, dude? You might as well just pack it in then if it's in Eichenberg's hands, because you know what he's going to do? Snap it right into his fat cheeks and ruin the drive. That's what he's going to do. Eichenberg. What a hose job. I can't believe I thought this guy fixed it. So good. He's gone. The safeties, yeah, that could be an issue. Although Zach Wilson is the quarterback. I mean, like, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, and he's going to have huge gaps in the coverage because all they're going to do is have
He's going to be
breakdowns.
distracted by the Boca Milfs.
I knew
Possible.
that was going to happen at some point today. I can't believe it took 16 minutes for Tobin to go off on Eichenberg and to call him a bum. I can't believe it took 16 minutes.
The season's in his hands. You could call him bum as much as you
it's
want.
not in his hands.
Unless it's Jonathan
Don't
Harris.
say that.
I hope
I'm telling you.
I
Please
literally
Listen,
dude,
the guy you got off the street,
good.
who hasn't played in the league since 2019, is your starter right
If
now.
I
Joe
trust him
Flacco,
more.
if Joe Flacco can come off the couch and throw for 330, dude can come off the couch, Netflix and chilling, and snap the ball to Tua correctly. Because I know Eichenberg can't.
All right, I have nothing to say about that.
You're saying the season.
You don't have to say anything about it.
Season's in Eichenberg's hands.
Omar,
Great.
that makes me so sad. You have no idea.
Sounds
Where's
like
the lie?
I'm going to skip coffee. I just want to drink.
I just want to say though, but like, yeah, I get it. McDaniel has to deal with a lot, but he's been dealing with a lot all year. These are not new problems.
These are much more epic
Stop
crises.
it.
It's not.
These are much more epic crises.
You could have just stopped it at he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. If that's the crisis this week, that's a big deal because the guy is your best player.
Your line?
Not as big as Tyreek Hill.
Oh, big deal. You don't have Tyreek Hill. Hey, maybe use Jalen Waddle like Tyreek Hill. We all know he's capable of it. Why doesn't he try doing it? Tyreek Hill goes out, and obviously that's a massive loss. I'm not trying to downplay that. Tyreek Hill goes out, and it's like the offense forgets how to play offense. Are you kidding me? Big deal.
They also
You're
didn't have
dealing
any
with injury.
protection. The quarterback couldn't be protected.
Omar, every single team in the NFL at this stage of the season is dealing with injury.
And is on their 10th offensive line today.
I realize that. I mean, that is not ideal. Yes.
Does that take
That is not
Eichenberg out of the
ideal.
game?
Yeah, probably.
Great.
It doesn't matter.
Awesome.
Okay, new guy. One practice.
Anybody get me a 150-pound Mike Pouncey at his tequila shop and you bring him in. I'd rather have him
He's
than
about like
Eichenberg today.
170 right now.
We
He's
need,
very thin. He's very thin.
Yeah, I mean,
What the hell
it's
happened?
he stopped eating carbs, just straight vegetables and meat.
I want McDaniel vaping on the sideline again. That's what I want. Get him back in his damn rhythm.
We'll take a quick break here on Gameday Uncensored. Plenty to dive into, obviously, around this game. We'll be back with more after this.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk. to, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, and more Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Welcome back in, everybody. Game Day, Uncensored here, 560 WQAM. We are streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM. Tobin here with you alongside Omar Kelly, alldolphins.com. Go check him out and all his work there and the fantastic work he does with us here as well. Solana here with us as well, and Trevor Harris producing this morning as we are getting you ready for Dolphins and Jets. I don't know what the hell's up with this weather. When does it stop? Like, you know what's been annoying about this week? Just like not torrential, but just like steady gloom, and then like just constant 18 to 20 mile an hour winds all the time. What the hell is this? Chicago? Like, this is very annoying.
Blame the snowbirds.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Can this get fixed by 1 p.m.?
No, it's not going to get fixed. It's going to be worse at 1 p.m.
Oh,
actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it was supposed to clear up. Joe Shad lied to me.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he did a whole weather
Joe
report.
Shad's a lot smarter than me. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm wrong.
No. He
according
said
according to my weather app on my iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to get worse by 1 p.m.
I just have wind signals there.
So wind and rain, wonderful.
Yep.
That means run the ball.
Yes. Most.
You only have
I want to see some. What are we doing here? It's the Jets. I mean, run
they're
the ball.
like one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
For sure, run the ball. Hey, I want to see Tua.
Mike McDaniel coming in.
Sling it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is he wearing leather?
I don't know what that is. What does he got going on there?
It looks like a biker.
I mean, he's very stylish as usual.
He's a back-end guy, huh? Backs into a spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying.
Oh, wow. You judging back-end guys?
I'm a backing guy.
You're a back-end guy,
Every
dude?
single time. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
I won't lie. It is unnecessary, but have fun trying to get out of that spot. I'm just driving right out.
It's you put the work in ahead of time opposed to afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to drive right out.
I think you're changing my mentality on life.
He, I mean, at least like I'm sure he's there early in the Dolphins employee lot. I'm sure he's doesn't have a lot of distractions there. But back-end guy, when there's a bunch of people trying to get to there, trying to get through, and you have to back it in. Oh, very annoying.
That can be annoying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but also McDaniel.
Are you backing guy with crowded areas
every time?
Every time.
I'm backing guy every time. Other than like our parking lot here at the Citadel, where you can't really back it in because it's the slanted.
Yeah,
right.
The Citadel has one of the more annoying parking lots in all of South Florida.
Just the worst. Yeah.
It's like I feel like they just made the angles a little too sharp.
They're too sharp. The actual parking lot is like on a slant on a hill. So if it rains, good luck. I hope you didn't park near the employee entrance. And also, like our parking lot is the station for buses to just like come here and wait.
I don't understand that.
If you come here during the morning, you literally can't turn in or out of the parking lot because there's just like Miami-Dade County public buses. They're parked here and they come inside to use the restroom and to buy food. So they just block the entrance.
You literally have to be like Mostert squeezing through like an O-line hole. Like you don't understand can I get through there? What? It's weird. Anyway, Dolphins getting ready for the New York Jets, who, of course, coming off a win last week against the Texans. Zach Wilson, he is AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
What's going on this
Crazy.
week? What the hell's going on?
They're maybe going to get Aaron Rodgers back next week if they win this game. He's apparently going to be medically cleared for practice and a return. So, look, this is don't lose territory. You can't lose this game. You get this one. I think the Dolphins still absolutely sitting pretty with everything that they need. They can erase the stink that was Monday night.
This is absolutely a must win.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's a must win and a don't lose.
Is it a get right game?
Falls into that category as well.
Yeah. It's definitely a get right game. I think, especially for the offense. I think that, getting everything on the same page there. Just execution, man, in that red zone has been, it just felt like it was automatic for, the first 2/3 of this season. And now it's like, all right, a little too much Jason Sanders in my life.
Well, I will say red zone scoring I don't want to call it an issue throughout the season, but it's definitely been
very pass heavy.
pass heavy for sure. They've struggled in the red zone a bit this season.
Recently,
They were
one of the best teams.
They were number one for quite a while.
Yeah.
But, yes.
But listen, I'll tell you who they could use last night. Did you see the catch by Jimmy Butler last night?
Hey.
Jimmy Butler. I mean, when he says he's got best hands in the league, he ain't lying.
He told you.
He said he could be a wide receiver. Whew, they need some height. Where the hell's Claypool?
Yeah, no, he's out there. He's working.
Well, zero snaps last week, right?
I don't remember. I don't keep track.
Well,
of
I mean, he wasn't a factor at all.
No,
like Tyreek Hill goes out. You have Claypool on the sideline. I'm just saying he wasn't a factor.
Getting like one catch this entire we got what was it against the Patriots?
Yeah.
Dolphins happen to be the number one team in the NFL in red zone efficiency.
Yeah, no, they've been good in the but like lately it's been a
number
thing.
One. Yeah, number one by far.
Throw one more fade to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, no. I listen. You got to kind of diversify your weapons because everybody knows the fate to Tyreek Hill is coming.
That play worked one time, and it was such a
it's worked more than one. But I hear what you're saying.
It was that beautiful pass against the Chargers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It worked, and I was like, man, that was one of the best throws I've ever seen.
Where they struggle is red zone. They're 71%. The number one by far. The Buffalo Bills are second with 66%, and everybody's like deep low into the 60s. Where they struggle is goal to go, which they are 18th in the NFL at 70.5%. And basically majority of people who are actually good are above 75%.
Well, here's Mike McDaniel. Let's hear a little bit from him. This is him on the collapse from last week, and not great.
There's some really bad stuff. Like, you get in a situation where you're the first team to lose a game up by 14 in the last 3 to 4 minutes since like 2017. Yeah, that's what it is. And you don't run away from it. You don't say, everything's all good. No, the point of this game, which you're trying to accomplish things that are very hard that everyone else is trying to accomplish, is you have to be willing to look at the hard things and make sure they don't define you. Make sure that you utilize that opportunity. That adversity is real, and it either is what you are or what is the reason you become something else.
Do you feel, Omar, like with the thing that's been interesting with them is, Mike McDaniel's whole thing, adversity is an opportunity, taking all of the losses that they've had, which have mostly been to good teams, up until this point, they can take some kind of lessons. With the Eagles game, they got off the canvas. You know what? It was one of those games where you had your chances, you blow it late. Obviously, the refs are crooked. The Kansas City, you're right there. Last possession. Okay, you can see where you can get better from this. This one's one of those where you really have to say, like, man, what the hell was that? So I think this is probably where, as a coach, he's got to evaluate where the issues really were. Because the other games, it felt like, these are simple tweaks and we can get better and get improving. And with this one,
it's very clear to identify where the issues are. Tua, the honesty Tua. He basically said, things went a little haywire for me once Connor Williams went down, and he was under duress the whole game. Like, people are like, why wasn't the offense? Look at the offense. Liam Eichenberg, but that wasn't the reason. Liam only gave up 1 sack. Let's not put the slander on Liam.
It's like a Jenga tower.
Robert Jones struggled more than Liam. Robert Jones is your new starting right guard, and gave up 2 sacks. A very, very good asset in the run game, but liability in pass protection. It is what it is, man. Listen, you know who Liam is. You season's in his hands. You could accept it.
Saying that.
You could accept it,
or you can't. What does that mean? I have to accept it.
What are your choices?
Give me the guy off the couch.
2 guys off the
not
street.
Skura. I don't want him. I want
not Skura.
No, I don't want him. I want the guy.
He actually might know the offense.
Skura,
get out of here.
No, Skura was here like 2 years ago.
Yeah. He was here 2 years ago. No,
I don't know why I'm defending Matt Skura. By the way, I don't know why.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Listen, you're getting the guy off the street or the guy that actually knows the offense.
Did they get rid of Skura?
Yeah.
No, he's on the practice squad.
But he's
back.
back.
They did. Yeah, he's back now.
No, but wasn't he?
He got waived.
2021, he got waived.
Okay, so why would I feel good about that guy?
I'm just saying.
Give me-
I mean,
You
but
told me that-
he got waived and he ended up a starter for the Giants.
You
after
told
he
me
got
the center
waived.
looks like a Greek god. Give me that guy.
He does, but I don't know if he could play, and neither does the team.
Give it a whirl.
You're just like giving everything a whirl. You don't care. Whatever.
I care.
The guy hasn't played since 2019. Throw it against the wall. See if it sticks.
Well, he's got to be better than Eichenberg on a bum leg.
That's true. Eichenberg not healthy is not a good option.
Eichenberg in a brace. I mean, it's the best thing I've ever heard.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said Eichenberg healthy is not a great option.
Keep him in the brace. He's sits his ass on the sideline.
I don't know what to tell you guys about this
He's
situation.
gonna play though, right? You think he's gonna give it a go?
I don't think he's good because just what you said.
Let me just say,
hold on. Just what you said. Eichenberg healthy is okay.
Okay.
Eichenberg not healthy, you're asking for problems.
Can I just ask you this? Are we done with the whole maintenance program the Dolphins have been doing all year, where it's like, hey, we're gonna not play guys because we got to get ready for the games that matter? This is the time where we can push guys through a little bit and they're gonna play. Yeah.
Certain guys like Robert Hunt, per Chris Perkins with the Sun Sentinel, he actually put me on. Robert Hunt has a bruise the size of a grapefruit on his left calf. It's very nasty looking and it's ugly. And I'm like, whoa, this is not left calf, left hamstring. And I'm like, whoa, that's
like a tear.
Yeah, this is not a situation where you can put him out there and get by. But Teron Armstead is going to play today, and he's going to be out there at 70%. But Teron at 70% is better than most offensive
Teron
linemen.
Armstead lives his life at 70%.
Damn, you're just so negative today.
I'm not being negative. That's the facts, dude.
Do you want him on that line or do you not
I do want him on that line. I'm just telling you the fact. If anybody wants to disagree with me, does Teron Armstead not live his life at 70%? When's the last time you think Teron Armstead said, feel a hundy? I'm going to say 2018.
I'd go 2020.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to quibble over 2 years, but the point is,
pre-Dolphins era. Though. Pre-Dolphins.
Yes.
But the point is, the guy said last year I could have gotten season-ending surgery week 1 of last year. He got hurt in camp this year. He hasn't felt 100% ever as a Miami Dolphin, which is fine. He's still really good. I'll take him at 70%. I'll take a 60% Teron Armstead over 100% Eichenberg. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, what'd you expect, Omar? I mean, Tobin's been listening to Mopey Mike all week at his damn press conferences. I mean, Mopey Mike all week.
Can this guy get a
so
nap in
sad,
already?
man.
Where are your jokey jokes?
Hey, he doesn't find anything funny right now. He's in a crisis.
Here's more of Mike McDaniel and his message to the team.
Well, I just haven't spoke with him today. We're on a short work week, and they their main focus today was regen, and the players kind of met on their own. But last night and today, kind of my message is and will be when I get in front of them again is that there's, especially games like that, there is a tangible amount of emotion that is derived from that. The way the game happened, the 14-point deficit that's closed in 4 minutes, all the different opportunities, that's emotionally, I don't know if you'd call it like, it can really just really take over. You go to bed with an emotion, you wake up with emotion.
Can you pause that for a second?
And I understand that,
Trevor.
I think that's,
I believe the word he's looking for is emotionally scarring. Go ahead.
well, I just haven't spoke with him.
Nah, don't
today.
worry. You don't have to replay. The point is, it's emotionally scarring, Mike. That's the word you're looking for. And by the way, he's had a very good pulse of the passion of the Dolphin fan base. I think he's done a good job of that.
Yes, he's very aware, which I find a little disturbing.
Very aware.
Yeah, very aware. Too aware.
Then possibly you should also know you're scaring the hell out of everybody. I just want him to know that just going into this week.
He's letting you know you should be scared.
I don't want him. He's supposed to be different. Like he's supposed to be a guru who fixes all of this.
Hey, man, he's stressed right now, and he's letting you know he's stressed. Do I have to go through our issues again?
No, we'll get more into it. We gotta, we got plenty of time to get more into the issues.
Maybe don't blow a 14-point lead in under 3 minutes.
Crazy.
It was one Oh, well, okay, yeah.
It's
4 minutes. Yeah, you're
There's
right.
4 minutes left, but he
But,
did
yeah.
it in less than 4 minutes.
Maybe don't blow a 14-point lead.
Or
I don't know what to tell
also, get a field goal with a minute and change left. Like, let's go.
Maybe pull out some of those cool plays that you're always concocting over there on the sideline. That probably would have been a good time for it.
They kind of only work with Tyreek,
Yeah, what happened with that? Like, Sherfield was going deep last year. What is this?
You know what it felt like? I'm not even joking.
Hmm?
You know, it felt. I'm not saying he is. It felt like Adam Gase on the damn sideline doing Sudoku in the middle of the game. That's what it felt like.
You've gone too far. You've gone too far. You've mentioned probably the only person that I hate more than Lee Meikenberg right now.
Hey, man, you better get your hatred in order because Leon Meikenberg's season's in his hands right now.
Tobin is going to fight you, Omar.
So I'm telling you facts. Season's in his hand. You better hope this Jonathan Harris can actually play.
Oh, listen, I have more hope with him.
You know how hard centers are to find in the NFL, and this guy hasn't worked since 2019.
How hard could it be? Brett Romberg showed his deal to Larry Coker with a hot dog bun. Like, how hard can this be? Love you, Roms. Back after this.
Hey, want to see the ugly mugs that go along with our melodious voices?
in HD2 and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
All right, welcome back into Game Day Uncensored here, 560 WQAM. Let us get to our player to watch, which is brought to us by our South Florida Lexus dealers. Experience amazing. Omar, you've mentioned a couple times on the show thus far, there's Jonathan Harrison. I know nothing about him other than he hasn't played football in 4 years. Who is he? What are his credentials? If he is called upon in a pinch, do you trust him more than Skura? What do you think?
Skura is not an option because he wasn't elevated from the practice squad yesterday.
All right.
Your choices are your man, Liam Eichenberg, on an injured calf, or Jonathan Harris, who has spent all of one practice this week with the Miami Dolphins, has been given a crash course on the offense. Will probably have to play with code words just to let him know whether
Sounds
it's a
fun.
run or pass, left or right. They're going to have to really simplify it for him. He, without a doubt, in my opinion, will be the player to watch because I do not play a injured Liam Eichenberg. We already know Liam struggles when he's healthy. You're going up against Quentin Williams. I'm sorry. Liam is not a player who plays well when his confidence gets rocked. I'm not playing him. I'm sitting him, resting him. So in my opinion, this game right now is in Jonathan Harris's hands and the season's in Liam Eichenberg's hands.
Hey, Tobin, Jonathan Harrison, waived by the Jets back in 2020. Revenge game.
You know who was his coach?
Gase.
Listen,
no blame on Jonathan Harrison then. His coach was a bum.
He has started 40-plus games in the NFL. While he has not played in 2019, he suffered an anterior cruciate ligament tear in 21, and then he was part of the Falcons training camp this year, did not make the roster, did not get a call to be on somebody's practice squad. So he's just been out of work, and he's been working on his body because he's going to be a trainer for offensive and defensive linemen. And when I say the guy is physically fit, the guy is physically fit.
No, yeah.
Very sculpted
I'm looking
body.
at pictures right now.
He's got a gram. Is he on the gram?
Good Lord. I hope so.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, let me look at his Instagram because people I said, and understand I'm a 46-year-old man, so I don't get like young people lingo. I can't even lie to you anymore and tell you I'm hip. So I said, when I looked at him, when I saw him in the locker room for the first time, I said, good God, this guy is rocked up. Okay. Now, in my day, when you said somebody's rocked up means they got muscle, they got hard muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy is an offensive lineman that wears a tank top. You know the guy who wears a tank top. He's showing off his body. He's an offensive lineman who wears a tank top. Yeah, I haven't found his Instagram account yet.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So
he's a moose.
He is physically fit. Now, do I know that if he can play? Absolutely not. I have no idea if he can play.
Here's the thing, though. How do you have arms that big and you can't play? You know what I mean? Like, your arms are that big and you can't throw some people around?
I'm not arguing with you on that. I would think at the minimum he's gonna have to help you in the run game.
I can tell right now he's a glass chewer. This guy's gonna do good.
You just want anybody to replace Eichenberg. You don't even care who it is.
Fast forward next week, Tobin ripping this guy the first segment.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that.
I mean, he's been here literally, and people don't realize this. They played on Monday night.
Yep.
It is a short week. They had 4 walkthroughs and 1 practice.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what a walkthrough is, it sounds exactly like it says. It's a walkthrough where you literally walk through plays. Okay. I don't know how many plays this guy knows.
Maybe he's a gamer.
I mean, he can be a gamer. All he's got to do really is snap the ball because he's a veteran starting center. So he's going to be able to identify. All you got to do is identify the mic. This is the mic. It basically slants our protection and slants our run blocking. He identifies what the mic is. Tua handles the rest.
I was gonna say, like, is there if there's one position in football where you really don't need to know the playbook, it's probably center, right? Like, hey, make sure your quarterback gets the ball and make sure your quarterback doesn't die.
That's overly simplifying it, but I do hear where you're coming from. I mean, I would think you still got no run pass. So I think they're going to have to give him code words like this is an A play, this is a B play. A right, and B is just
seems like a fun thing. Like it's almost like a game between him and Tua. Tua seems like he loves little games like that.
Game within the game.
Yeah.
I think Tua's busy with other things. Just my personal opinion. That too, but
he loves Christmas.
He does love
that.
Christmas.
I mean, like I didn't know how much he loved Christmas. I mean, I knew he liked Christmas a lot, but like Hard Knocks has given an even bigger look into how much this dude loves Christmas.
It's surprising, right? Like an island kid loving Christmas this much.
I
don't know.
People like. I mean, I guess people like Christmas.
It's very cheerful. I mean, they changed that quarterback room for him.
Yeah,
it made it look like a winter wonderland.
Yeah. No, I mean, I literally hasn't been more excited than when they were talking about their gift exchange.
I mean, because he's a quarterback. He's got to give good gifts.
He does
primarily to his offensive linemen,
especially when you're going to get a bunch of money.
And you're on Hard Knocks.
When there are a bunch of gifts that are going around the locker room, like every day you're seeing guys walking out with big boxes and things like that. Like they love Christmas time. They love gift giving. It's the white elephant in that they always play the white elephant game, and I think the minimum is you got to spend a $2,000 gift for your position room.
2 G's?
Yeah, 2 G's, man. I mean, 2 G's.
Even Ethan Bonner's got to spend 2 G's.
Yeah, Ethan Bonner's got to spend. Actually, you know what? You might have something there, like the
practice squad rules.
Yeah. I mean, there might be practice squad rules to this. Yes.
We'll take a quick break here on Game Day Uncensored. Plenty more to dive into with this game. Then, what solutions does Tua see for some of the issues that he's been having? We'll get to that coming on up. Back after this.
It's Channing Crowder's 12th annual holiday toy drive benefiting the kids.
60 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Gameday Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Game Day, Uncensored here on 560 WQAM. Getting you ready for Week 15. Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets, who they just beat on Black Friday not too long ago. Different quarterback for the Jets. They did a little experiment with Tim Boyle that game. Lord knows why. I don't really understand why this gentleman was given the opportunity to start football games, but he was. Threw a 99-yard pick six to Javon Holland to end the first half. And
Play of the season.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It
Play
really was. It was an awesome that was an awesome play. And Christian Wilkins running over Breece Hall in the midst of that was really, really cool. So now
you guys are just focused on living in the past, huh? That was a month ago. Okay.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Play of the season, Omar.
A couple weeks ago.
It's Black Friday.
Yeah.
So thanks. Okay. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Now you got to do it again.
Yes.
You better do it again.
No, they better do it again. Don't lose.
Otherwise, it's panic time.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. This fan base, they've been very excited about this year, rightfully so. You know, I feel like a lot of people are buying, believing more so than ever. You know, last year you had the Tua concussions. That sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's been healthy, which is really rare for quarterbacks these days. You're in the spot. You're still sitting pretty. It's all there for you.
Are you?
You're sitting pretty.
Are you?
If you got the Jets coming in at home, a home game against the Jets, who are not good. I don't care. Zach Wilson, offensive player of the week, kick rocks. They're not a good team. And you set yourself up 10 wins going in the last 3 weeks of the season. Bills got a tough game today against the Dallas Cowboys. That would put your magic number down to 1 if they lose today and you win. Yeah, you're sitting pretty. You're in a good spot. You got a game in Baltimore, which is going to be very critical. Yeah, I think they are sitting pretty. But don't lose. You lose this game, people are going to be jumping off a building here. You know, it's going to be rough if they lose this game.
Rightfully so, by the way.
Absolutely.
You can't lose to the Jets today. You just cannot.
Yeah.
That cannot happen. I mean, all right, you had your one lapse. You had your one That's So Dolphins moment. Fine. But we all know what awaits the Dolphins final 3 weeks of the season, as Tobin just mentioned. And you have a Jets team that is not good. We know that. I don't care what the hell they did last week. Anomaly. They're not a good football team. You're at home. Get right game.
Hey, man, they're about to get Aaron Rodgers back, baby.
Get the win. Get back in the win call.
I guess it really depends. Like that's the interesting thing with this for the Jets. It feels like today rests on, will Aaron Rodgers play the rest of the season? Like, will Aaron Rodgers come back? Will he try and come back? That's the only, because if they lose, there's no way he's coming back. There's no point. But if they win,
he wants to be the first player to return from an Achilles injury in a season.
So. Maybe, but I would say he's probably only going to come back if they're 5-7 and have a chance to actually finish up strong.
Just coming back because
you just think he wants to just show up.
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean,
he's
like
Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe, but he really, I mean, if you're going to put any dent in it, it would be win this game, and they're not going to feel that way. So the Jets, they win last week. They dominated the Texans, who obviously suffered a lot of injuries, including C.J. Stroud going down with a concussion. But the Dolphins, look, they got to clean some things up for a team that seemed like they were running so smooth, like a machine. Like, what did you make of this week with Raheem Mostert, Omar, talking about the run game and that he has to be in Mike McDaniel's ear?
Mike came over, as Hard Knocks showed, and basically apologized.
Which he should have.
He should have, yes. Mike, I don't get it because Mike's DNA is made up of run. He comes from the Denver Broncos, the Terrell Davis Denver Broncos, where they won Super Bowls because of their run game with John Elway. He has been a run game coordinator, catalyst, creator at every stop, every stage. He says when all these geniuses are in the room, the way that I figured out I can carve, nobody was talking except for who was the white powdery substance snorter?
Chris Forster.
Chris Forster.
Those big grains falling.
Yeah, Chris Forster was the guy who taught him the beauty and the essence of the run game. So it's in your DNA.
Hopefully that's
you have you have the number one rushing attack in yards per attempt in the NFL.
Yep.
You have the number 2 rushing attack in yards produced in the NFL. Run the damn ball,
especially down the red zone. It's crazy to me how this has been something that's been feeling like it's way overcomplicated, and that's why I'm glad. Look, Raheem Mostert's got a long relationship with him dating back to San Francisco. Like,
he could talk to him like no other. He calls him Mikey.
I think that's adorable.
It is. Their relationship's kind of cute.
I like that.
And I forgot to mention, you have the second leading rusher in the NFL, and has been there, and the top touchdown producer in the NFL in Raheem Mostert. Like, Dolphins fans don't put respect on Raheem's name.
Yes, they do.
No, they do not.
Everybody's respecting
absolutely
Raheem
not.
this year.
No, you don't.
Come on.
Probably not enough.
You're lying. You're lying.
He's putting up touchdown record numbers for the franchise.
Yeah. No, nobody. They don't put him in the same category as Tyreek Hill. He is the second leading rusher. He's the NFL's touchdown leader, has been all season, has a historic yards per carry average during his career.
I actually agree with Omar here. I don't think he's gotten his just due.
Is on pace for his first 1,000-yard season, and nobody's really talking about him.
You got the cheat on your team. I mean, what are we doing here?
Okay, so let me ask you, who's your second best weapon on this team?
Oh, no, for sure. It's Raheem Mostert.
I think you're lying to yourself. I think you're lying. I think you want to say Devon and Shane.
Well,
I saw it in your eye. I saw it in your face.
He is younger.
Exactly. And then
I thought it was going to be Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Let me tell you what happened in the locker room. Like, Jalen saw us coming for him. He was like, "Nah, I gotta go." He was like, I don't want these questions. I don't want these pressures. He showed up at the end, and then it was a really
kind of weird. Like, what because I don't feel like he
knows what's coming.
But I don't feel like he's getting called out. I don't feel like Jalen Waddle is, he hasn't been a star this year. He's been fine.
But nobody's blaming him.
No, but this
I
was a guy who had 1,300 yards last year. I get it. You have a guy who's on pace for record, but Tyreek was on pace for records last year too before Tua got hurt. He broke the franchise record.
But I'm saying, like, I don't think anybody's blaming Waddle for lack of production. I think it goes more towards the offensive play calling, right? Like, why aren't they incorporating Waddle more? If anything, I mean, the other day, like, Waddle balled, man. Tua put him in some situations where he's getting lit up right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, but there's been times where Waddle's also not been on the, it's been very clear that he's not done the right thing.
He's had a couple drops this year.
He's not on the same. He's not been on the same page like Tua and Tyreek have, and I don't know if that's a Tua thing, because if Tua's on that much of a page with Tyreek Hill, then I would probably put the factor of that being Jalen Waddle not being on the same page with Tua. And there's been other times too where he hasn't come up with a big catch.
Yes, no,
like,
right.
He has not been a star this year.
Where's the deep pass? But he hasn't been a star this year. Do you know he's on pace to become the first player in Dolphins franchise history with 3 straight 3,000-yard seasons? First player ever.
Cool. You're not Jarvis Landry. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be protege to Cheetah, and he hasn't been protege to Cheetah. I've only gotten 3 Waddles this year. 3 Waddle dances, Omar.
Really?
That's it. 3 touchdowns. That's it. And I think one of them he didn't do it.
I could have sworn there's more.
Nope. Looked it up.
Damn.
3 sexy Stephen Ross Waddles. That's all I've got.
I feel like Stephen Ross has been waddling a lot this year.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope. You just remember them. They've stuck out in your mind. 3.
Maybe Waddle's doing him a favor, though.
You're right.
Stephen Ross a little too old. Dislocate his damn hip.
I don't like it
like that.
Look, he's been solid. I thought he was more than solid. I thought this is supposed to be the best duo in the league. I love him. And I say this as somebody who loves this guy.
Yeah.
I wanted him to have another monster season. But I just feel like it's been every game for him feels like it's kind of been like, good game.
178 yards away from being the first Dolphins player in franchise history with 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Mm-hmm.
First player ever.
Do you feel like I'm talking about feel. We know the Cheetahs.
He's evolved into a possession receiver. Does that make me comfortable? No. But
no.
I
he's supposed to be the other sports car.
But you know what?
He's not a Tesla.
This team has been so Tyreek focused, and it's been so productive for them. They're the number 1 offense in the NFL.
He's supposed to be a Corvette, not an energy efficient silent electric car.
Wow.
He's
You're
supposed
making
to.
him out to be a Prius.
yeah,
what are you
like,
doing?
He's not supposed to be a Prius.
All right, I'm just
He's
saying he's
supposed
not a Prius. He's right now. He's like
I mean,
he's
Teslas
like
go pretty fast,
like,
you know.
he's
Yeah,
like
but
a
nobody
Civic.
fears them. Like nobody's really fearing them. They're like, oh, it's a Tesla guy.
He's
you know?
he's like an SI right now.
Oh, okay, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. He is more of a Tesla. He's quietly gets you there.
Yeah.
It's
Which I don't like. He's got the coolest dance. When he catches a big pass, he celebrates. He flexes. I love that.
Listen, he knows he's got to embrace the spotlight today, but all the attention's going to be on him. Like if Tyreek doesn't play, all of the attention goes to him. So what do? My personal opinion, you play Chosen. It's the guy who's going to give you that speed element. It's not going to force you to change your offense. I'm playing a steady diet of Chosen, and goodness gracious, Chase Claypool, it's time for you to show up. Somebody traded a first-round pick for you last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got talent. Like let's show up. Let's deliver something. Let's be an efficient NFL player.
Do you think that they're going to give either of those guys a shot?
They got to. Mike McDaniel talks about they have a Chase Claypool package. They have not utilized it. And he says there are times where games were concluded and I regret not utilizing it. Well, you don't have Tyreek. What else are you going to use? What else are you going to do?
Do you think they're not going to have Tyreek today? Best guess?
Even if he plays, he's a decoy. And even if he plays, there's certain routes that I don't think he can run. Like that whole comeback. Yeah, stopping on a dime and turning on your ankle, not a good idea.
What's the point then, though?
The
Decoy.
record. That's the only reason he'd be playing.
Wow. No, I think he does. I think he knows his team needs this win.
This team is.
If this team
we've talked about
this game.
No, but Omar, we've talked about this all year. First of all, it's still the Jets.
It's open up a can of.
But
you know what?
This team has been super conservative with injuries forever. It's the Jets.
If he was not December.
If he
was now the elimination games that Mike McDaniel's all been talking about since August.
All we've talked about all year is 2K. If he is not going for the record, there's no shot he would be playing.
No, I think he's ultimately knows the position that this team is in, and he knows they're backed up against the wall. They need this win because if you don't, this is a must win. If you don't win this game, then that season finale against Buffalo is for everything.
Must win, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And you know who pays child support.
Dads?
No, he does the Josh Allen thing.
Josh Allen's your daddy.
I don't
Josh
like
Allen's your daddy. He's your daddy. He pays child
dude,
support. He's got visitation. He's coming for the holidays.
Yeah, you're lucky. You're going to be at the game today. You won't hear the broadcast. You know who we got stuck with today?
Who?
Tony Romo.
Oh, Jim! It's not Josh though. I'm fine with.
He's
everything.
Gonna bring him up.
He is gonna bring him up.
I tell you, Jim, I don't think these guys can beat Josh Allen. All right, Tony, we get it. We're not doing that game right now.
So how do we get Raheem Mostert the love he deserves, Omar? Like more Mostert jerseys in the stands. Like what do we need?
I think getting him to the Pro Bowl is
he's gonna get to the Pro Bowl, Omar.
You think so? You think it's a lock?
Raheem Mostert?
Yeah.
Of course it's a lock. He's leading the NFL in touchdowns. He's definitely going to get to the Pro Bowl.
Didn't like the first returns come back, and the Dolphins seemed like they were leading like every vote.
Yeah, that's Tuanon though.
Good.
That's Tuanon doing his thing.
One time Kyle Lowry stole an All-Star game from D Wade because of Justin Bieber. Happens. Had all those little believers come out and
that literally did happen.
No, that did happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was he because it was all done by retweets, and so Justin Bieber endorsed Kyle Lowry, beat D Wade in the fan vote.
I'm like 99% sure I had to delete a couple tweets from that Kyle Lowry era.
Me too.
When I got hired by the Heat. If I remember correctly.
Take a quick break. Back with more after this on Gameday Uncensored.
Gameday Uncensored on AM 560 Sports, WQAM
dealers: Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Welcome back, everybody. Game Day, Uncensored here. 560 WQAM. Take you up until kickoff, Week 15, New York Jets. Everybody drive safe out there. You guys drive crazy in this.
What is it about South Florida people that
I don't know?
They just lose all ability to
think
drive.
We'd be used to it, right?
Yeah, you would think.
You would think.
You would think. I mean, does it happen in every other state, or is it just South Florida?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
There's worse drivers in the DMV in the Northeast. As someone who's from up north, we're all bad.
Maybe, but there's a lot of things that get like overused a lot, and it's like a cliche. But when people say in South Florida, when it rains, people forget how to drive, it is so damn accurate.
It's crazy.
It is so mother bleeping accurate.
Let's get to some keys to the game here. Brought to us by Edmore Sawgrass Chevrolet. They're your lease return headquarters. Click EdmoreSawgrassChevrolet.com and see how you're backed by Morse when it comes to returning your lease. Edmorse is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. We talked a little bit about this last segment with Tyreek Hill. Should he play? Is this because of the record? Is this because it's a must-win? But Mike McDaniel saying earlier in the week that he does not feel the offense is too Tyreek Hill centric. Here's the Dolphins head coach.
I think that is kind of inherent, at least for me as a play caller, as you're trying to distribute the ball. There are times where there's a glutton of opportunities that go Tyreek's way. Generally, that's momentum based. But there's we're collectively we're strongest when you have to worry about everyone. So there's always that type of mindset and wanting to involve people, and then you just don't fight how the game presents a lot of times. And when he's a hot hand, just like when Jalen's a hot hand, similar things happen. I know there's I can't remember which week it was. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago against Vegas, but people attributed Tyreek being out to Waddle getting successive targets. It really wasn't the case. It was that you're paying attention as a play caller to what's happening on the field with a clear mind, with an idea of what you're going to go to. But then when people noticeably you can feel the momentum of a certain moment or a drive or whatever, you try to empower the offense by getting the ball in those guys' hands.
I call bullcrap.
No,
this offense. Yes, you're playing the hot hand. Tyreek is usually the hot hand, but your offense is absolutely too reliant on Tyreek.
100%.
Where are your passes to the tight end? Where are your passes to the fullback? What about your utilization of a slot receiver?
Where's my anytime touchdown to River Craycraft, dude?
Oh yeah, I hope you've learned about keep putting your money on that one.
I wasn't gonna bet it last week, but then he showed up with the whole all white suit, and I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah,
he'll pull me back in again.
You're down like what, $40?
Tobin talked me right into that.
Yeah, I had a big win in the UFC last night though, so I'm feeling good with some house money.
I put a little Cinco on it, and I remember after the game saying I'm never doing it again. But Tobin, I'm gonna fire up this Hard Rock Bet app, and if Craycraft anytime touchdowns there, guess what?
Got to.
I'm throwing a little.
But no, like I don't feel like it was like this last year. I think it was one of these things where that kind of goes to Jalen Waddle. Like I felt like it was, it maybe yes, it was mostly Tyreek was the best receiver, but I felt like Jalen Waddle was a 1A. Like remember how mad Dolphin fans got at McAfee in the offseason because when he was talking about Jonathan Taylor trades and the Colts asked for Jalen Waddle, we were like insulted by that. How dare you ask for Jalen Waddle? And I don't know. I just don't feel, and maybe that is a case of, does the coach not trust him as much? I don't know. Or is the game just flowing like that? But when he goes and he says, well, Tyreek being out had nothing to do with Jalen Waddle having a big game. Well, obviously it did. Like, what are we talking about? If he has 4 catches in a game and 3 of them came on the drive Tyreek Hill is out, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out, yeah, that probably had something to do with it.
I would say, and Tua argues against this, and Tua can't lie; he's too honest. But he says a lot of the plays that are designed for Jalen, the coverage is just dictated for me to go elsewhere. And my rebuttal to that is, okay, well, what about when the plays are designed for Tyreek and the coverage dictates that you still go to Tyreek? And the coverage, no matter what, you still go to Tyreek.
That's why I'm confused. Like teams are sending double, triple coverages at Tyreek Hill. Hey, Mike McDaniel still figures out how to draw plays to find him to be wide open for Tua.
Yeah, because Tyreek just says, "Let me get behind you."
These guys have said 3 or 4 times this year, "Oh, the play wasn't there; it broke down. We just kind of threw it up."
We just improvised. We just threw it. Cheetah.
Waddle's not the cheetah. I realize that. He's pretty damn close though in terms of speed. So I don't know, and
no,
I think yes, he is.
He's
not. And I also think, Omar, you said this last week. I think it was you who said this offense is Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, and Jalen Waddle. Period. End of story. There's really no other components to it, and we've learned that now going into Week 15. And really, it's Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert, and then when Devon Achane's healthy, he's there, and like Jalen Waddle's kind of in the conversation. What happened? What happened?
But here's the thing:
he's still on pace for 1,000 yards.
We came into this season talking about all the weapons that Miami has, all the guys at their disposal that they're going to be able to incorporate into the offense. Like, what happened to that?
If I asked Dolphins fans, who do you think has had a bigger impact this season, or who do you remember more this season? I would argue Dolphins fans probably remember more Devon Achane plays than you do Jalen Waddle plays. I don't care that he's on a pace for 1,000 seasons. I'm talking about explosive, holy bleep plays.
You know, Jalen Waddle is the 12th leading receiver in the NFL, just behind Garrett Wilson, who has no quarterback.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that, but now I do. 12th leading receiver in the NFL. Obviously, we know who number 1 is.
That's crazy.
Missed the 70 burger.
12th leading receiver. Man, that's crazy.
Maybe we got to put a little more respect on Waddle, Tobin.
I'm not disrespecting him.
I don't think you're disrespecting him, but also, like, yes, he hasn't had the 70-yard touchdown run.
He has one game where he got where he got 100 yards. One.
So that's the measuring stick now?
Yes.
100-yard production?
Yes.
Okay.
Since when is it not? Do we like? Hold on.
I thought 1,000 yards was a measuring stick.
No, dude, come on. How many times if you're a wide receiver, what do you go to look to see? Oh, did he have a good game today? What's usually the bottom line? You look.
That's you fantasy players.
No, that's anybody who's watched football ever. 100 yards. You're like, oh, that guy had a big game.
Okay. If you say so.
No, it's not because I say so. It's logic.
Solana, what's the verdict on this?
I think he's right, Omar.
Yeah, 100 yards. It's a milestone number.
I hate to cape up with Waddle hater over here, but I think he's right about it.
I say this as a guy who loves Jalen Waddle. This is why I can say I was expecting monster things from him this year. It hasn't been a monster year.
It's been okay.
You know what? 12. I agree with you. It's been okay.
And you want to see a monster today?
Yes.
In the game where he doesn't have the guy who takes the attention away from him.
Maybe
you want to see.
I think
you're like put on the cape. If you need to be the new Tyreek,
actually,
let's go.
Yeah, actually, I think if no Tyreek, more pressure on him. That's what I think. First round pick. Want to get paid like a number 1 receiver in a couple of years?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I actually think if there's no Tyreek, more pressure on him. I better see 2 Waddles if there's no Tyreek Hill today. I better see Stephen Ross shimmying his ass off in that luxury box next to Garfinkel. In fact, Garfinkel and him better be doing a tandem. And Marino.
Yeah.
They all better be doing it.
I think the frustration from Tobin, though, is misplaced. Truthfully, I don't think it's on Waddle.
Who should it be placed on?
You know who it's on. It's on Mopey Mike. It's on Mopey Mike. And you know what? It is a little bit on Tua. No offense, all right? I know Tuanon's going to take some issues.
How's he catching a stray on this one?
I'm just saying.
He's got the number 1 offense in the NFL.
Hey, maybe look to your left every now and then, all right? Maybe look to your left every now and then. I know it's hard because, the cheetah's on the right. I get it. Maybe look to the left every now and then. And, hey, maybe when you do throw it to Waddle, don't leave him wide open in the middle of the field to get lit up every damn time. Every time last week.
That's his catch.
Every single time last week.
Yeah.
But it is on Mopey Mike. Hey, Mike McDaniel, figure it out. What's your line? Fix it. Figure it out.
Should fix it.
Figure it out.
But I don't think his example should be like, oh, people thought that Tyreek was out of that game, and that was the reason. Like,
on that. Yeah.
First of all, you want to know you want to know something, dude? Never put this guy under the spotlight of somebody interrogating him, because like he just gives himself up. Like nobody asked about that. That happened 4 weeks ago. Yeah, and all of a sudden you just, you guys remember that game?
Because he knows the narratives that we're going to say and we're going to come up with, and he
that,
knows.
But that's a classic case, Omar, of him answering questions for 3 minutes, thinking that he has to answer everything. He doesn't have to do that. Just shut up. That's sometimes why a lawyer tells you, shut up. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop giving yourself up. You're going to rat on yourself.
You're telling Mike McDaniel to stop talking?
I know. He's talking more. I cut these press conferences. I am being tortured by this guy. I'm like sitting here 4 minutes. What could you possibly say for 4 minutes on one answer?
He's filibustering.
What was the message to the team? Oh, I watched Hard Knocks. You talk for 30 seconds. We all saw the footage. Why can't you talk for 30 seconds at a podium?
Because then that leads to more questions.
Does it?
I've already figured out his game plan.
His game plan is not working.
It's working for him. The less questions you get, the less you have to answer, the less information you give your opponent.
Hey, Mike,
it's working.
You don't have to filibuster. Literally.
He does.
You don't have to. No. You know what he does have to do? Talk for 3.5 minutes before he knows what it is he wants to say.
No,
that's the problem.
No. You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. He's saying the same thing for 3 minutes. You can choose which part of it you like. That's what he's doing. He's saying it in multiple different ways, trying to make sure you got the point.
Don't you feel exhausted listening to him every day?
Yes, I do.
Don't you just come out of there and be like, I need like an espresso. I need something to like jolt my mind after listening to that vortex.
We joke about it all the time, including to him, because he knows he's filibustering.
I know. It's so annoying because I listen to him on this Hard Knocks. He's more efficient.
He is.
He's not like that with his players.
No, he's not.
It's a lot potty mouth. He's got a lot of F-bombs that he drops, and
he
then
does
he's
have a lot of F-bombs.
Because he knows they got TikTok attention span. I don't know, because the media is a little older. He thinks you guys will just sit there, and so he tries a different strategy with you guys.
It's all about not answering our questions. It's like if I take 3 minutes to answer 6 questions, I'm done with questions. Like if I answer each question in a minute, then I'm facing 16 questions. So, he's trying to be efficient in his mind to make sure he doesn't give out much more information.
I don't think that's efficient. I don't think he knows what efficient is then.
It's efficient in terms of achieving his game plan, which is to answer less questions.
But does he think like he thinks he's nailed it, right? Like he thinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question.
I've got this down pat.
Yeah.
I take 5 minents to answer
2 minutes and 30 seconds every question.
And this press conference can't go more than 18, 22 minutes max before PR person Ant's coming like, all right, last question. So I'm going to take every single question as long as I possibly can.
Are there rules though? Can he just say after 10 minutes, all right, I'm done?
He can do whatever he wants.
It's never shorter than 15 minutes.
I know.
I've never covered a coach shorter than 15 minutes.
Flo last year, come on. Flo?
Oh,
I was cutting those up all the time. Half the time, Flo, you couldn't even really understand what a million uhs in between everything. Nobody even want to ask him any more questions. Omar, they were 10 minutes max.
I've purged the Flo era, so I don't even.
Just to raise it from your mind.
That era and the Adam Gase era, I've just purged it. No, not Gase. Joe Philbin. I like the Gase era. That was fine. I'll keep that one.
Take a quick.
Gase era was fun.
Take a quick break. We'll get into the other side of the ball for the Miami Dolphins. The defense, they blew it. What the hell are they going to do?
Listen to.
Sorry, just going to break, John.
Look at the Panthers. Sponsored by Celsius. Hockey.
Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Welcome back. Game Day Uncensored here, 560 WQAM, getting you ready. Week 15 is upon us. Dolphins. Oh, I see the sun. That's nice.
Yes, looks like it's starting to come out.
Oh, let's go.
I need some video from people who are probably
for it.
tailgating.
Yeah.
Do you tailgate in the rain? No?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
make
you
it
do?
through. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be any
You gotta fight
elements.
Tents.
But how do you do
You do
the
tents.
barbecue though? You
You do
barbecue
tents.
You got
under the
tent. You got a tent.
But what about
Just
the
don't leave it under your
charcoal?
car like that dummy in week 1 last year.
What about the moisture in the air? Like
Make sure comfortable.
Do you not? I guess you gas grill it then, right? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
a
you
cold
can have a little.
guy.
You can have a little
Charcoal.
propane. Yeah.
Okay.
You can charcoal with a little lighter fluid. It'll get through. It'll be all right. Dolphins getting ready for the Jets. Now, talked a lot about the offense, understandably so, but the defense did have their breakdowns, Omar. They are also they got their injuries to deal with no Deshaun Elliott, possibly no Javon Holland. I don't know where this is at right now with him. We'll get to his comments this week on his injury. Although I was very excited about this. Ethan Bonner elevated.
Yeah.
Urban legend.
Oh, White Lightning.
This is very exciting. I want to see him play.
He's going to be primarily special teams guy.
Oh, I'm going to see how fast he is.
Yeah, that's a good
Running
point.
down.
Yeah.
What is he going to do? Gunning?
No, I think just the other roles, kickoff coverage. He's also probably going to be the backup dime because Nick Needham is going to be a safety today. So
Oh man,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
well, let's hear a little bit of Mike McDaniel because obviously the defense did have their part in that loss. Vic Fangio, I don't know what the hell happened there at the end. Here's Mike McDaniel on what he told Fangs after their collapse on Monday Night Football.
Happen on Monday would really go after their DC. Imagine he doesn't need that considering his resume and all that. How do you what did you go and tell him after what we saw on Monday night?
Well, that's one of the I'm not sure if it's a silver lining or the positive part of going through stuff together as a team. Listen, any team that does anything worth anything goes through stuff together. It's like a family. Like you, I would imagine siblings fight, and when you get through it, you are stronger. Well, that was a fight for us, really, for all three phases. In terms of emotional, like we put a lot into it, and we didn't get the results at all.
So they fought?
That makes no sense to me.
So did they fight?
I mean, was he mad?
So did he fight Fangs?
I don't know. I'm very confused about what he
what
said
type of
and
fight?
what he meant.
What do you mean, like a verbal?
I think a spat. Yeah,
Right.
like a verbal spat. I don't think it came to fisticuffs.
No.
Because I feel like Fangs would give him the business.
Oh, for sure.
Unless Mike McDaniel knows, some kind of martial art I'm unaware
He does
of.
not know any martial art. No, the martial art of what do they call it? Like gab, the gift of gab.
He does have the gift of it. He's probably talked his way out of a lot of bullies fighting him.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Like if he didn't cheat on a test for a bully,
Mm-hmm.
and then like bully's like, I'm gonna take your lunch money, and then he goes and he just starts talking, and the bully goes, never mind.
Yeah. Well, by the time he's done, he's like,
Yeah,
I
by the
don't want
time
to
he's
fight
done.
anymore. I want to go to bed.
Here's a little bit more of Mike McDaniel saying Fangs is one of the best in the business. He's not worried about him.
Our defensive coordinator is one of, if not the best defensive play callers that I've ever been around. You talk about timeliness of certain calls. You talk about being on, because your job is to prepare players and put them in the best position to succeed. And so within that, knowing the scheme and then knowing the offense, each and every week, the last person I'm worried about doing everything they can for the team is Vic Fangio.
That's the last person he's worried about. And, or the last person that he could actually hold accountable because, Fangs does what he wants, how he wants, when he wants.
Which is the whole reason you brought him in anyway.
Very true. And if you're going to give somebody that kind of power and autonomy, it would kind of be Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
So you just mind your business, go over there and fix your offense, and I'll take care of what I got to take care of over here.
Hey,
all right.
Listen, man, as disappointing as those final 2 drives were on the defensive side, they played a pretty good game. The defense.
No, they did. They
had you in the game.
The only reason you give them any type of blame is because of the collapse. But up to that point, they were amazing. That's why I think it's just kind of confounding as to why that happened.
Even Fangio said, up until that point, we had been very good at our prevent defense and finishing out and closing out games, and it's true. But then the offense had been very good at their 4-minute offense as well. And that failed them. So everything was a colossal failure. Everybody takes ownership for what happened, from Tua to Fangio to Mike McDaniel to the offensive line. Tyreek hasn't said anything, so he can't take ownership. And really, what are we going to blame on Tyreek considering he's playing on a busted ankle?
I missed the Tyreek press conference this week, man.
You were leaning on it, huh? You were just waiting for it. Yeah,
I love when he talks. I want to know what whoppers he's going to tell.
Yeah. Cheetah don't get hurt. That's going to be the big whopper today. I think that Cheetah is going to play. Will he be 100%? No, but he will be out there in spurts, giving it what he can. He's going to definitely try.
The other thing we got to look out for is the safety spot. Javon Holland does every Tuesday with Hockman and Crowder on Javon Holland show. Where do you guys do that show?
Hollywood Kia.
Here's Javon Holland revealed that he has been dealing with 2 sprained MCLs.
What is your status for Sunday? How are you feeling, and what is the nature of your injury?
Yeah, so it's 2 sprained MCLs. It's taking longer than I thought it was, but this is like my first legitimate injury that I've had in my career. I've been blessed to evade serious injuries. So, it's a long process, man. It's ligaments, it's not muscles or anything like that. So it's taking a while. I'm day to day, just slowly improving. I was running last week, so I'm getting there. And I'm optimistic about this week. I am really excited because I do have a chance to come back. And but yeah, I'm fighting to get back as soon as possible, especially because we're taking on a lot of injuries, especially in the secondary. So I want to be able to help as much as possible in games that we need, especially in December. So yeah, I'm getting there.
There you go, Javon Holland. This past Tuesday, 2 sprained MCLs. Omar, that's no joke that he's been dealing with that.
No, that's serious. And MCLs or sprains are usually a month. Right now, I believe we've been sidelined for 3 weeks. I am going to say, based on the practice participations that I watched, that Javon Holland does not play today. I could be wrong. If there was another guy who gets into the lineup without practicing with the team, and it was really just one practice, it would be Javon Holland. And truthfully speaking, playing Javon Holland, it would be better than putting Elijah Campbell on the field. Just because playing a Javon Holland 70% because of the communication and how he sews things together. And sort of prevents the breakdowns that you kind of saw against the Titans.
Yeah.
Communication is a big part of defense. And right now, you're the 2 communication guys are Duke Riley and Javon Holland. If Javon Holland is not out there, you might have more breakdowns in the secondary.
Right, but when it's an isolated injury, right? One thing you say, okay, maybe go try to push it. When you're dealing with 2 injuries, I don't know, the opportunity for one of those to get, worse gets doubled. So I don't know if you push it.
See, this is one of the things. So. This is one of the things too, where it's I get what you were saying last hour, where you're saying this is a must win.
Yes, it is.
I get you.
It is.
But
you're arguing. You're arguing that it is not a must win.
I'm not saying it's not a must win. I'm also
say it's a must win then.
No, I said it's a don't lose.
What is that? What are those?
It's different.
It's just don't lose.
Okay, and if I lose,
don't.
But what if I do? What if I do?
Don't. That's the point of it, though, dude. Is don't lose.
Okay,
that's the point of it.
Technically, so if this is not a must,
because you want to know why it's not a must win?
Why is it not?
Because they're not eliminated. That's why it's not a must win, but it's a don't lose.
Okay, and you might be right, but you lose this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buffalo in the season finale, that intensity ratchets up.
But this is what I would say. It's the New York Jets. It's Zach Wilson.
Must win.
And next week, you have the Dallas Cowboys coming here.
Mhm.
I would like a Javon Holland. If another week is going to do him better, I would rather have that guy as healthy as possible for what's going to be one of the bigger challenges of your season next week.
Okay.
Then I would, if this does him any better, missing this one, because that's been the philosophy all year with them.
It has.
This is your last can get away with it game.
But all year you said till we get to the December elimination games.
They're not eliminated. That doesn't happen this week.
So you don't think that this could potentially, a loss here could potentially mean you're on the road for the playoffs?
Here's what I would say. It would definitely mess you up.
That's an elimination.
But also it's the Jets. And
and it was the Titans.
If Tyreek, you're right. Hey, fair counterpoint. But if Tyreek Hill wasn't going for a record, they wouldn't play him. Wouldn't even be a question. If he was not going for a record, because of the track record of this coach, they would rest him against the Jets. He'd definitely play next week against the Cowboys, but it's the Jets.
Okay.
So I'm just saying with Javon Holland, 2 sprained MCLs, that sounds awful. If you feel like you could get away with it, which they've done all year, that's been their philosophy, why change now? It's the Jets.
Because you didn't get away with it last week.
You shouldn't have to force guys back to beat the Jets. You shouldn't.
But if you don't, and your secondary is a liability, and
you're going, you shouldn't shouldn't have to force.
So it's the
Javon
opponent
Holland back.
It's the opponent that we're
to hold.
So now
Zach
we're just downgrading our roster because of the opponent, just like we did against the Titans.
We have done it all year.
You're right, and it finally cost you.
It did finally cost you, among other things.
But it cost you, but it shouldn't have costed you. That's what's bothering me. It did cost them, but guess what? It shouldn't have.
And to be fair, we talked about this. Like, the biggest injury that happened to him was not a prevent injury. The biggest injury that happened to him was Connor Williams that happened in game.
Yeah, and things are going to happen in game.
Yeah,
you're probably going to lose a starter today too.
Hey,
I mean,
damn.
I hate when you guys put on this fan. Yeah, come on. All right, this week or next week, you're going to lose another one. Okay, I apologize. It's the reality of the sport that you play. That it's just the reality of it. Like December games, guys are on fumes.
It is beautiful. It is brutal. I mean, seeing the guys who are starting at quarterback every single week, those are the ones that get attention. But it's brutal watching it. Because Connor Williams had a dude just rolled up into him. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Like, that's not his fault.
It's part
this guy was already battling.
How did Robert Hunt get hurt? How did Teron Armstead get hurt?
Brutal.
3 times. The same thing. Teron Armstead, same thing 3 times.
I think you're used to it.
So damn disrespectful. Listen, you need Teron on that line. You want Teron on that line.
I want
I'll
take him at 40%.
You need to apologize. To Teron, because you just said something disrespectful. He's going out there. He's playing hurt. You need him on that line so you can slide the protection everywhere else.
I will apologize.
Say sorry
to Teron Armstead. I am sorry. I'm not going to apologize to Lynn Mecklenburg.
I'll let that slide. It is what it is. Liam hasn't earned your apology.
We'll take a quick break here on Gameday Uncensored.
But the season is in Liam's hands.
Of course.
You laugh, but I tell you the truth.
I don't like you saying that.
It's true. It's the truth. You better pray Jonathan Harris is a monster today.
When we get back, of course, we couldn't go a week without some Tua controversy in the national narrative. Cam Newton taking a blowtorch to Tua, among other quarterbacks. Get to that coming up next.
Hey, want to see the ugly mugs that go along with our
importance of winning in December.
We've said a ton we want to play our best football in December. That game was in December, and that was not our best football. Well, we have, 2 to 3 more games in December than one in January promised to us. Well, we better utilize all the things that we absolutely do not want to relive in the other games.
It's been a short week, and Christian Wilkins says there's no time to dwell on the past.
The most important thing is beating the Jets now. We got to turn the page really fast, and even faster now with a short week. So the longer we sit and think about this one, even though it was a tough loss, that's not going to do anything for anybody. So the most important thing now is today, focusing on getting better today, watching the tape, doing what we need to do, learning from it so that we can have a good week on the short week.
We're ready for Week 15. Dolphins, Jets. Time for Game Day. Uncensored. Tobin, Solana, Omar. The pregame show for real Miami football fans. On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Game Day Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is Game Day Uncensored here on 560 WQAM, getting you ready for Dolphins and Jets. Week 15 of the NFL season. The sun is starting to come out, getting you ready for this big-time game against a division rival.
It's crazy. The sun is out.
I know. Yep. Hasn't been out for all week.
Now let's get the heat going so it can get a little steamy. Yeah. Let's get that going.
Soupy.
Yeah.
For this game. Get these Jets passing out by halftime. They're saying on the the Tyreek Hill on Fox right now. They're saying Tyreek Hill still not worked out.
Lie. He's actually on the field right now.
Just got video. Mike Cunha just posted it. He's on the field warming up.
And he did a quick cut, stop a cut. He's testing that ankle. It looks good.
She don't get hurt.
What is that? The Fox broadcasts down there on the bottom TV?
Yes.
Hey, Fox.
Tell Schrager, pick up your game. Glazer.
Figure it out. All right, Glazer. Figure it out because you're wrong.
He is. Look, he hasn't practiced all week. Obviously, we talked about this earlier in the show that they've been maybe too tired extended, but they need him.
Hey, listen. What does Cheetah consistently tell you?
She don't get hurt.
Cheetah don't get hurt.
I was so scared last week when he got
hurt. I was terrified too. I was terrified too. I ain't even gonna lie.
I was like, why is he? I didn't even like him coming back in the game. I'm like, are they sure? Like nobody does that. Who misses a whole half of a game and then just goes third quarter? I'll give it a shot.
Nah, he just said, I'm going in. He grabbed his helmet and went in.
That's crazy.
And Mike just like, okay.
Do you really like? That's one of my favorite things.
Mike wanted to pretend like he knew, like he was aware. Like Cheetah just said, "Nah, I'm going in."
One of my favorite things of Hard Knocks is how much Mike McDaniel loves playing with Cheetah. As he's like, oh, Cheetah's coming back. That changes everything.
Yeah. And then he goes to Tua. Like, should we go to him? Should we go to him? Tua's like, yeah, sure. Like, show them. He's just that tore it off shot. It was feeling good for a minute until he got to the fourth quarter. Then it was like it wore off.
Did you see? I know you obviously know this. So Tua saying that Tyreek should be the MVP by his endorsement. I know that was going to be the obvious answer.
Yeah.
But
Tua's not going to say vote for me. But yeah, he's not. He's Tua. Come on, Tua's not winning.
I do think his candidacy. Listen, the Tua MVP candidacy is going to need he's going to have to slay the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to have to. He's going to have to win the last 3. He's going to have to win all 4.
Yeah,
of the last
if he's actually going to be, because the odds reflected. We were talking about this last week how Tyreek was breathing down his neck even on betting lines for MVP. He's going to have to beat Dak, Lamar, and probably Josh Allen the last week if he's got any shot of winning that award.
He's going to have to slay the last month of the season 4-0, and that's
deservedly so. This is one of those things where everybody roots for Tua. I'm a big Tua guy. Have been, never been rats off a ship, but
never.
I
know you, Solana.
I was never rats off a ship on Tua. Thought he got a raw deal.
Sounds like listen, I got a ticket. I got a return ticket. I can come back when I want to.
Listen, when you see him live in Tennessee,
Oh gosh, yeah.
That did some things to me. But then he reeled me right back in Baltimore a couple months later.
He's going to need to do it again in Baltimore in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's going to absolutely need to do it again.
He's out on the MVP, by the way.
He's out. Yeah,
he's out right now, but he can get back in.
He can win. If he wins, if he will finish the season 4-0, beating Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo, he's winning.
You can't not.
He is winning.
If he beats the betting favorite for MVP, you're back in the race.
He is absolutely.
Out.
If
he's out right now.
If he outduels Dak Prescott and then beats Lamar, he's definitely getting.
But also, one of them has to be with Cheetah not being that big of an impact.
Well,
Cheetah will steal votes.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I that's why I don't see it happening. And you know what? I'm not telling you I agree with him being out. I think he should still be in the conversation for it. But here's the bottom line: the narrative behind Tua right now is that it's been Tyreek Hill driving him all season long, right? And the one opportunity he got to prove that it wasn't all about Tyreek Hill. His success this season.
He had 4 backups on his offensive line.
On national TV, everybody's watching him.
Yeah.
And he came up short, blew a 14-point lead. Whether it was his fault because of the offensive line, I'm not putting it on Tua. All I'm saying is the narrative could have been changed on national TV.
Yes, you're right.
He pooped the bed.
He did. No question.
He's not winning
that
MVP.
game wouldn't have mattered.
Undeniable.
Let me tell you something right now. If he would have even led to a field goal or a touchdown drive that last drive, it had nothing to do with his MVP candidate. It was against the Titans. He can regroup. Now it takes a hit on it because he did get sacked and that happened. Well, why did he keep falling? Like what the hell?
He took ownership for it. He said that's on me. And it was.
You want to know why? He stopped taking jujitsu. Now
okay.
Telling you, dude, that was bad with the MMA.
And the funny thing is, he was at Hard Knocks, like testing out the field, meeting the field guy.
I know.
And then here he is slipping every minute. Like he had 3 bad slips in that game.
What a flex of Stephen Ross's wallet, huh? My grass farm.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Stephen Ross stories.
That's amazing.
You don't? Do you know the story?
Do you know the story?
No. Okay. So
why would I know that?
So they had diseased grass on the field, and it was horrible for the UM. It was horrible for UM, horrible for the Dolphins. Steve Ross is like, we need to change it. We have to change it. And he basically had to wait in line because there were like 7 other teams that were in order for new grass. And Steve Ross was basically like, I don't ever want to have to wait in line ever again for anything. Amazing. And bought the company. Bought the company. Said, how much for your company? I need to be in the front of the line. How much for the company? They gave him the price. It's wired to you. My company now, I'm first in line for the grass.
That's amazing.
That is who your owner is.
Man.
Like that is a Stephen Ross flex. I got 2 Stephen Ross flexes. And the other one is the Diplomat Hotel. It was Diplomat Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. It was an iconic hotel in Fort Lauderdale. It's like the anchoring piece for Fort Lauderdale. They sold it to Stephen Ross. Sun Sentinel at the time, which was my employer, says to me, hey, we know you're all about football, but this is your access to Stephen Ross. You're going to have access to him. Ask him about the sale of the Diplomat Hotel and what his plans are for it. I go to Stephen Ross and understand this hotel was sold for like, I can't remember the number, but I remember I heard like $68 million. And it was sold to Stephen Ross. And I go up to Steve, and this is when the first training camp of Jarvis Landry. I go up to Steve, and he's like, yeah, you like that Jarvis Landry, don't you, huh? He's a good player. He's going to be great this year. We're going to have an amazing season. I go, Steve, my paper wants to know about the Diplomat Hotel. What are your plans for it? He goes, it was a distress sale. They came to me. It was a good price. I said, throw it in. I was like, it's like, why not? So he buys hotels like he's going to the store and they're like 2-for-1 shoes. Why not? Let me get it. And I was just like, man, this guy's so rich he could buy my bank and foreclose my house if I piss him off.
That's true. He could.
Yeah.
It was a wild thing that I did, but Tua, stop falling, dude. Stop falling. It was a wild thing.
Also, we haven't even mentioned it on that final play. Get a throw off. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance.
It was brutal, man. He took some tough sacks in that
22.
Game.
Nobody's open.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He has to reset. It was such a disaster that whole game.
It was, and I know offensive line. Like I'm not downplaying that, But you're with me, right? Like nobody's open. Throw it up. You feel the pressure, throw it up. Give somebody at least a chance to go make a play.
Mm-hmm.
Here was
it's for a final play. Absolutely, I don't disagree with you, and that's not the first time it's happened either.
Here is Tua earlier in the week. You said he wasn't used to dealing with pressure because he's been clean most of the season.
Well, I think the thing that I can do better is let each play stand on its own merit. That was a good rep for me last week because it took from week 1 all the way till whatever week this is or whatever week last week was, to get that rep. So I'm actually really glad that I got to get that. And I mean, you can only get better from that. So
what's going on with this Tyreek Hill? What is that? Like has he got like a evening
working
gown
on-
glove? Like what the hell is that thing?
Which one? What
Look at his hand. He's got like a white glove. It looks like he's I don't know. See that thing that the one glove like goes all the way up?
No, that's his armband. Come
Is
on,
it?
man. Yeah, that's his armband.
No, it looks like he's got one of them fancy gloves, like a gentleman. Like he
like
challenged
he's
you to
an
a duel.
officer and gentleman.
Yeah, he'd slap you. He'd slap you with that thing. Tua also said, he's got to deal with pressure. It's part of being a QB.
brother, pressure is pressure. So
brother,
whether it
Brother.
goes inside, whether
Brother.
it goes outside, you got to get the ball out. You got to make quicker decisions. You got to know where you're hot from, and you got to play. You just got to go out and play.
brother, Eichenberg can't block.
Listen, brother. You want to know, Tua's always honest, right?
Yeah.
But you want to know when he's being the absolute most honest, most transparent, when he hits you with a brother.
Yeah.
Whatever.
When he hits you with a brother.
Like what
yeah.
he's saying, he's not thinking. It's just like how he feels.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, man. It is what it is, man.
Listen, brother.
When he says brother, he's gonna give you it is what it is.
Brother,
you wanna,
I've never met anybody more candidly honest than Tua in the world.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
It is nice. It is
Yeah.
nice.
You want a little pre-injury report?
Tyreek's playing.
Sure.
I'm putting
This does not have to do with Tyreek Hill, but Cameron Wolf
Mhm.
of NFL Network,
Mhm.
he tweets out, "I'm told Teron Armstead, Austin Jackson, and
Liam Eichenberg
are expected to start today, despite being questionable per source." Now, that's not official. We're 11 minutes away from finding out, but a little teaser for you, Tobin.
Great. Awesome. Take a break. Back after this.
It's Channing Crowder's 12th annual Capital One
All right, welcome back, everybody. Game Day Uncensored here, 5-6 WQM. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. Thanks, everybody, joining us there. We will get to actives, inactives probably in about 5 or so minutes, but we do have a report from NFL Network's Cam Wolf. He says, I'm told Dolphin safety Javon Holland will be inactive today. So they are out without him and Deshaun Elliott, who's, of course, in concussion protocol. Holland saying that he dealing with a sprained MCL in both knees.
Given
week.
to you exclusively by WQAM's
That's
Hoffman
right.
and Crowder show.
Thank
Journalists.
you. Yeah, all these reporters, Omar, that were listening live, they discredit QAM. Hey, mention the show. All right?
Actually, we're told not to.
Mention the show. Adam Beasley was on the show that day. He didn't even mention the show he was joining.
It's writer protocol. You're supposed to just mention the radio station.
Writer protocol.
Yeah, I know. You glory hogs.
Yeah. What a joke.
I do mention it in.
I know you do.
Yeah,
Omar.
Because I know it's important for you guys.
It is. That's an ego stroke.
Yeah,
you know,
the Hoffman and Crowder show on WQAM.
There we go.
They exclusive. He revealed
that
he was. You want to talk about too honest? I can't believe that he revealed that.
I couldn't either. I legitimately couldn't believe that.
I was like, wait, you giving us ligaments?
He's trying to give you an explanation for why he's being sidelined and shelved for 2 weeks. That's the weirdest thing I've ever said, and I've talked to all my media peers. 2 knee injuries at the same time.
I've never heard about that.
I've never heard of that.
I've
never seen that.
I thought you miswrote that.
Yeah.
I was like,
and remember how it happened. It was like a collision, and he landed on his knees. And to think that he would sprain or injure both knees in that, I thought it was a concussion, but
crazy.
Two knee injuries.
So we'll get to the rest of actives and actives in a bit. But first, let us get to our fantasy football update brought to us by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day. Pour me in, coach. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. Solana, what do we got here today, man? It is playoff time in the fantasy land.
Yeah, so here's the difficult part. Tyreek Hill's not 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's been the best player in fantasy all season long. So you're in the playoffs.
You got to ride that fantasy train.
If Tyreek's not inactive when we find out in a couple minutes, I think you got to start Tyreek Hill, right? I mean,
you tell us, fantasy guru.
Even if he's not 100%, you're going to sit a guy who is going to get, my guess, at least 5 to 8 targets today, at least. You got to start Tyreek Hill, Tobin. And then Raheem Mostert is a no-brainer. I don't think I'm giving a hot take here. No-brainer. Because
especially if Devon Achane doesn't play.
Every single time, especially if Achane doesn't play.
I'm looking right now on my Hard Rock app because I want to see what I got for Anton. First of all, they don't even have Craycraft up there yet.
Oh my God! Would you stop wasting money on that? Would you stop? It's like flushing money down the toilet.
Tyreek Hill also not listed. But how many did he have last year? Did Craycraft have last
year? It doesn't matter.
He had like 3.
Matter.
Don't even look his way this morning.
It doesn't even matter.
Craycraft used to be a thing, man. Why isn't he a thing this year?
Because Tyreek is a thing.
I don't understand this. Like Craycraft. Intangibles.
I don't even know what you see in Craycraft. I really don't.
How about this? Well, first of all, don't be you have to apologize. What do you mean? What do we see in River Craycraft?
What do you see in River Craycraft?
Just
he was
intangibles.
He was like the 4th, 5th receiver on the team last year.
Yeah, but like he always showed up when you didn't expect it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay. That's okay. So he's like a father who shows like a deadbeat father who shows up when you don't expect.
He's more like a fun uncle.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's more like fun uncle. That. He's like, oh, Uncle River's here.
All right. Okay.
The wacky uncle, who's like always drunk.
Guys, let me tell you about the season. Yeah, let me just tell you about the season of 2022 when I had 4 touchdowns in the Dolphins. Tell us about it, Uncle. And then for some reason, he never threw my way again.
Yeah. Stop looking at me. Yeah. How about this? A little boost action on the Hard Rock app. Jalen Waddle and Breece Hall both to score a touchdown, plus 850 right now.
I like that.
Good deal.
That's actually not a bad bet.
Got Alec Ingold plus 1100 for anytime touchdown today. Huh?
No.
The goal line?
He's not. He's not getting the ball.
I know.
But
they should reward him one time. He's the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
They should
nominee.
They should.
That gave me the feels. I'm not gonna lie. That was really cute.
It was a good
family kept a secret from him for 3 weeks, huh?
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a tough one to sit on. He's out there walking the dogs. Seems like a great guy, this Alec Ingold.
That's like anytime I think Dak has it, like and Russell Wilson also. Whenever they have like the little guy with the cape on their jersey, they won the Man of the Year. award. Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ingold needs that. Give it to Ingold. Just a nice guy.
I felt like Ingold and it was like the Ingold and Raheem Mostert episode with them both mic'd up.
I'll admit it. I didn't watch Hard Knocks this week.
What?
Couldn't do it.
Why?
Couldn't do it.
You're like those fair weather fans.
I'm not a fair weather fan.
It wasn't.
I didn't want to relive.
You
know what, man?
I had to.
That loss hit me, man.
I needed answers.
You need it. Yeah, you need to see what was said in the locker room.
Yeah, I needed answers.
You needed to.
I wasn't.
It would give you closure.
Closure.
Yeah, it's the page's turn, brother. Page's turn. If you live in yesterday, you're not going to be present for today.
I wasn't very impressed.
Hey, brother. We'll find out if the page is turned today. All right, we'll find out.
We will find out.
We'll find out.
Because I felt like I got to be honest with you, didn't like the vibes this week. Didn't like him. I felt like it was sad, mopey.
Yeah.
I felt like
historic loss. Gonna
I
be
don't
sad,
care.
mopey.
I thought that
you guys are getting upset.
I thought they were a week to week.
Craycraft caught 9 passes for 102 yards last year. You guys are acting like he did something.
Gentlemen.
How much was it?
9 passes for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh wow, he's already passed that production this year. 8 catches for 103.
Those are Waddle numbers this year.
He just needs one more touchdown, which means he's due for one more touchdown because he had 2 last year.
Oh my
God.
Inactives are out, and you're not gonna like a couple names on this list.
All right, well, let's take a break. We will give you the full actives, inactives coming on up. Game Day Uncensored. Back after this.
Game Day Uncensored on AM 560 Sports. WQAM is sponsored by
South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day. Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage.
If you want to propose this holiday season, you have to come to JR Dunn. We have a huge selection of ready-to-give engagement rings to make it easy for you. How about a 2-carat elongated oval solitaire with our newest hidden halo that sparkles from all angles? Or a gorgeous 3-carat radiant set in our petite pave setting. Need something bigger? How about a 5-carat or 8-carat stunner? We got it. Best part is we're offering extended interest-free financing on all ready-to-give engagement rings now through December 31st. It's the best of both worlds. Get her dream ring, and you don't have to pay for it all up front. It's my family's gift to you. Happy holidays from J.R. Dunn Jewelers in Lighthouse Point. Holiday hours start Wednesday, December 13th. Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7. Sundays 10 to 6 and 9:30 to 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. The J.R. Dunn Holiday Toy Drive for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County is now through December 20th.
J.R. Dunn.
This weekend, during the Wrap Up the Year sales event at Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, get a
9 HD2 and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Game Day Uncensored here, 560 WQAM. Tobin here with you alongside Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana, as we get you ready for Dolphins and Jets, produced by Trevor Harris here today. Let us get to our actives, inactives, brought to you by JM Lexus. When it comes to loyal fans, it's JM Lexus with a 4.8 Google rating and over 13,000 reviews. JM Lexus, West Sample Road and Margate. And this is not great to report to everybody, but
buckle up.
The actives, inactives are out. The inactive list. First off, as was reported earlier today, Javon Holland, inactive.
Not surprising.
Deshaun Elliott, we knew, inactive.
Elijah Campbell and Brandon Jones are going to be the starters. Supposedly, Nick Needham's going to be the backup as a safety. However, somebody just pointed this out on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility that Kader Kohu can be going outside to the boundary spot to replace another inactive.
Yep.
And Nick Needham could be used as the slot. Nickel cornerback.
Xavier Howard also inactive. Surprising?
The biggest surprise. I think they are aware that Xavier, when healthy, is a very good player. When he's not, he's okay. I guess this is a strategic decision to get them to that play well in that closing stretch of games.
Yeah.
But who steps up now? Cam Smith hasn't earned Vic Fangio's trust, so we could be looking at an Eli Apple game. We could be looking at I don't know. I can't call it. I don't know what the approach is. They activated Ethan Bonner. So he's mainly going to be special teams. So I think he's going to be stepping up for somebody who's going to be used on defense. And he could also be the dime cornerback because that's a position that he's played since training camp. And it's really a position of strength for him.
Robert Hunt, we knew was going to be inactive. He is. Jason Pierre-Paul still not really made an impact since brought by the Dolphins. But let's get to the big headline here. Inactive for the first time in his Dolphins career. The Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, out, inactive today.
Man, and the funny thing is we were watching him warm up 10 minutes before they came out with the inactives, and he's dancing around. You're thinking that he's good to go, he's clear, and obviously he wasn't.
Nope.
And he's going to be sidelined, and now you're going to see this Dolphins offense, minus Tyreek, which is what all the Tua critics
definitely
have been impatiently waiting for. How much growth has Tyreek as Tua made since his Brian Flores days?
I mean, he's obviously made a lot of growth, but
we'll see.
But this is going to be interesting because I think it speaks to a lot of things. The guy has obviously had an incredible season. Was on a record pace. It's going to be a very tough record to chase down now. We were doing the math. Probably he's going to have to do 150 yards assuming he's healthy. If he plays the last 3 games, would have to do like 150 yards per game.
152 in the final 3 games.
That's pretty insane.
He needs 458 yards to get to 2,000.
I think we can say goodbye to 2,000.
Yeah.
That's it's 2K. We'll set it for next season.
He'll come out his next game and hit 200 yards. We'll be like, he's back. That's Tyreek. That's going to be
against the Cowboys. I mean, you want to talk about a way to seal up an MVP award.
Yeah, no, he's going to be up against Noah Igbenogany.
The one good thing is
if Noah's on defense, it's possible.
If he is able to come back next week against the Cowboys, no Astros talk with old Calvin Johnson now because it's 16 games.
Yeah,
so we can put that to rest. But bigger fish to fry right now, which is how much are you worried though without him? Because there have been these questions without him, Omar. Like, do the Dolphins talk too Tyreek centric, too Tyreek reliant? I'm sure they went into this week crammed as it was, knowing this was a possibility, so you prepare for it better. Which the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel always seem to do better than when the in-game adjustment kind of happens of an injury going down. When he can prepare for it, they've done a better job. That's offensive line, that's guys being out. But even with that said, this is the mother bleeping Cheetah. Like he's the best.
I am
now you don't have him.
way more worried about Xavier Howard not being in there than Cheetah being in there.
Really?
Yes, because
Zach Wilson.
I get it, but that how many cornerbacks do you have?
We got the White Lightning.
Oh, you're Ethan Bonner. Your season's in his hands.
Well, now Cheetah can be in his ear, because that's his guy. You know, he could just be motivating him
He's
the
part of
entire
the 22
time.
miles per hour club.
You know,
0% chance Ethan Bonner is playing a snap at cornerback. If he does today,
He might be in the nickel.
If he does, if he is, you're.
Would be a historic day. White corner
Might be in the
Haven't
nickel
had
and dime.
That's
That's true.
Trouble.
He
trouble.
would be. No, I think there's a white cornerback in the NFL that just got drafted. A rookie. There's a rookie. I'll look it up.
So.
I think he's from Iowa. No.
If
Actually,
he's from you just said he's from Iowa just to like kind of cover your tracks.
Damn. No. I'm gonna find it. Ethan Bonner is technically
How are you finding this? Did you type into Google white
quarterback in the NFL? Yes,
it's amazing.
No, they are a dying breed. They are
extinct.
Jason Sehorn was the last one.
No, a guy named Troy Apate and Kevin Kawahan. No, I swear to God, there's a white cornerback that just got
dude,
drafted.
I'm telling you, you just gave
playing.
me 2 names that are not white names.
Those are not white names.
Okay, I gotta find it now. You guys are killing me.
Cat for Life says, Omar, where the hell is Cam Smith?
Cam Smith is in Vic Fangio's doghouse because he has not earned Vic Fangio's trust.
We like to call him Dolphins Nikola Jovic.
Okay, this white cornerback is actually still in the league. His name is Troy Apke.
Apopke?
Yeah.
Apke.
No. I don't know if he's still in the league now. Hold on. It's really hard to track this down on. But yes, the white cornerback has not played in the NFL since Jason Sehorn. He was the last.
Man. Well, this could be in this.
Okay. Riley Moss.
Oh,
was
Troy
the guy I'm
Apke?
thinking about.
Apke.
Yeah.
He definitely is intangibles.
Yeah.
I can see right now.
Okay.
Yeah, man, but this is awful because it was so much fun watching Tyreek Hill this year.
Yes. Riley Moss was the white cornerback. He was taken in the 3rd round by the Denver Broncos. I don't know if he's playing. I'll find out for you guys.
It's been fun watching this chase for history and to see this kind of get stumbled up. I know Cheetah don't get hurt, but look, it probably is the smart thing to do. I know we've talked that this is a must-win game or a don't-lose game, but it is also a team that you are better than, and you having the week to prepare for not having Tyreek Hill. Again, I feel like a lot of pressure goes on to obviously Tua, but also to Jalen Waddle. Like this is his chance to kind of show, hey, I'm still that dude.
I think it's also on Mike McDaniel, right? Like, can you win? Can you produce the same offense or at least a productive offense without your number one weapon in there? I mean, that's a tough ask for any team, but now you have to do it in December, in these months that he always talks about. And I know I've said it earlier, but in a month that he hasn't exactly been great in either, probably mostly due to injury last year, but still, you have to do it. You got to do it. You got to figure it out.
All right. Riley Moss, rookie cornerback for the Denver Broncos, has played 13 snaps in the NFL. He is the last of the dying breed.
Well, Ethan, you also have a chance to add to the white cornerback lineage.
Resurgence of the white cornerbacks.
It's coming back.
And people think this is like we're like making a big deal about this. Well, it is, because a white cornerback has not played in the NFL for a ridiculously Jason Sehorn. Imagine how old Jason Sehorn is.
Wasn't it? It was your boy Jason Kelsey, who was like, you know why it's the hardest? They don't even let white people try it. Like, he's right. They don't.
True.
They don't let it. Like, and I, you just look at it like, really? You must be the fastest if they're letting you try, which apparently he is.
Yes,
we'll
he's
see.
one of the fastest players on the team.
But man, yeah, this is a tough look. It's a tough injury list. The offensive line not as in shambles as you hoped, although those guys are playing banged up.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't just gloss over that.
What do you mean?
Don't just gloss over.
Well,
that.
I'm gonna
because when it happens in the game and then Liam gives up a sack, you're gonna be like, see, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
I told you though, you could put him out there healthy, and I'm gonna feel that way. I could get his blood tests, his ligaments, his MRI, his CAT scans, whatever scans you want to give me a Vikenberg, and they say Tobe 100%, and he's got Wolverine blood. I'll be like, still gonna be worried. That's just how I feel about him.
Listen,
I tried, dude. Hey, listen, you did a good job, and Austin Jackson had a little play in this too, because it was like, hey, Austin Jackson turned it around. Look at him, what a story. But you want to know something? Not everyone's gonna be a good story. Sometimes the story's gonna stink at the end, and this guy stinks.
I cannot speak about Liam like that. All I know is
you shouldn't. You have to deal with him every day.
No. I've been more harsher on Liam than anybody else in this media market, but I know the guy's gotten better. I know he tries. I know he's competent at right guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay at center, and when healthy. And now the season's in his hands. The season is in. It's the truth.
Stop saying
it
that.
is. Tell me where I'm lying. Tell me where I'm lying.
Because
Who touches the ball more than the quarterback? Who touches the ball just as much as the quarterback?
The center.
Okay. Bad snaps turns off execution, right?
Oh my God, so bad.
What about bad line? What about bad identification in terms of defense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
his job, right? Seasons in Liam
Can they
Eichenberg's
give that
hands.
to Teron Armstead from his spot? Can
No,
he
can't
do
see
that?
it. Nope, absolutely not. Season is in Liam Eichenberg's hands.
Didn't you tell us earlier this year that there was a strong possibility Liam Eichenberg was the center
of the future?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes. And I do. Yes. I believe right now.
Probably.
What are you re-signing Connor Williams?
Connor Williams is going to be out next year, dude.
Connor Williams is going to be like available in October. Are you signing Connor Williams to a nice, respectable, hefty deal? What are you doing?
He can't play with a torn ACL.
No.
Come on.
I mean, it maybe in October, but yeah, it's not going to be fun. Yeah. No, you're riding the Eichenberg Express.
Yeah.
It's going to be nauseous. Give me one of those vomit bags. It's going to be all these loop-de-loops.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous ride.
It is what it is. This is the ride you chose.
You ever go on like a roller coaster at like SeaWorld, it's just not quite right put together. Like it's a little loose at the belt. Like
There's a roller coaster at SeaWorld?
Lots of them. Well, they took away their orcas, so they needed to come up with other ways.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Actually, SeaWorld has some pretty badass
but they have
roller
one
coasters.
they have one that's really like the belt is way too loose. It's it's the Mako. It's very dangerous.
You guys are making me want to go now.
I'm telling you right now, it's very dangerous.
List.
I think they're owned by the same people as Busch Gardens, who has some pretty good roller coasters.
Okay.
I think it is.
All right.
I might have made that up.
But Busch Gardens has some questionable roller coasters too, where you're just like, this doesn't feel like it's up to regulation.
Aaron says Jalen Waddle is up today. He must step up. Cedric Wilson must step up. Mike McDaniel must step up. That's a lot of stepping up. Chase Claypool stepping up.
Robbie Chosen is active. You guys gonna put some respect on Robbie's name, because I'm telling you, he is going to keep this defense consistent. He is the only receiver on the team that can stretch the field vertically along with Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
So if you want Jalen Waddle to actually be balanced and not, you want the offense to be consistent and not have to like throw out the entire playbook, Robbie Chosen's got to play.
You think they're gonna trust Claypool at all though? Because like
you got to dust off that Claypool package.
Yeah, right. Like
you've been working on it for how many weeks now?
Well, the thing is, like, why sign him if you weren't even going to try to incorporate him at all?
For moments
right?
like this,
exactly. This is a time right here.
Absolutely, no question about it. He was.
So what you're saying is Claypool anytime touchdown.
I wouldn't go with the. Go with the over on the yardage.
Are those lines back up there at Solana?
Let me tell you right now.
No, dude.
See, boy, when you're doing shows with degenerates, this is.
Whoa. Okay, so Tyreek Hill. How about this? Tyreek Hill. I checked right before inactives. Dolphins were 8-point favorites.
Okay.
Now it's gone down to 7.5. So Tyreek Hill only moved the line a half a point.
Yeah, he's not a quarterback. He's not.
Yeah, but
I'm like, look, we can do the debate about Tua or Tyreek Hill being the MVP, and we could joke about it, but like, we'd all be more nervous today if Tua was out.
Oh, absolutely, no question,
absolutely,
no doubt
like,
about it.
Yeah, it's a fun narrative to have. Yeah. It's a fun narrative to have.
Even though Mike White revenge game against the Jets would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
It would have been. That would have been fun.
It would have been fun. You also would have been, holding it. You would have been like holding on to your cheeks because you're like, oh my God, we're starting a backup quarterback in December.
I'm not saying I wanted it. I'm not telling you I wanted it. I'm just saying it would have been fun. That's all.
We'll take a quick break. Final hour of Game Day Uncensored coming on up. And we are streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Back after this.
because we lost this game. We're human. We'll continue to get better from this. This is the NFL. No one's perfect. So that's that.
Coach McDaniel knows the importance of winning in December.
We said a ton we want to play our best football in December. That game was in December, and that was not our best football. Well, we have, 2 to 3 more games in December than one in January promised to us. Well, we better utilize all the things that we absolutely do not want to relive in the other games.
It's been a short week, and Christian Wilkins says there's no time to dwell on the past.
The most important thing is beating the Jets now. We got to turn the page really fast, and even faster now with a short week. So the longer we sit and think about this one, even though it was a tough loss, that's not going to do anything for anybody. So the most important thing now is today, focusing on getting better today, watching the tape, doing what we need to do, learning from it so that we can have a good week on the short week.
We're ready for week 15. Dolphins, Jets. Time for game day. Uncensored. Tobin, Solana, Omar. The pregame show for real Miami football fans. On AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Game Day Uncensored is sponsored by South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day. Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Final hour of Game Day Uncensored here, 560 WQAM. Tobin here with you alongside Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana, being produced by Trevor Harris here today. You guys can watch the show, Miami 560 WQAM. Thanks, everybody at the tailgate, for checking us on out. Hello, everybody. And hope everybody is getting some better weather here for this last hour before you head on into the stadium and get ready for a little Dolphins and Jets. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm sure you are aware of the news. If not, Tyreek Hill is inactive today. No cheetah for the Miami Dolphins today. That along with Javon Holland, Xavier Howard. We knew about Deshaun Elliott and Rob Hunt coming into this game. So Dolphins without some big names, Solana, going into this one.
Cheetah-less today, gentlemen. A cheetah-less Sunday. Feels weird.
I don't like
Jalen Waddle game.
Jalen Waddle. I you know what? He looked like I saw one video of him. It was like 3 seconds on the Dolphins Twitter account. Looks like he's got that look in him.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to make Stephen Ross dance today.
Robbie Chosen game.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. You love Robbie Chosen.
He's got to play. He's the only person who keeps your offense consistent.
I think I speak for all of us when I say it. There's not going to be a Robbie Chosen game in 2023. Can he have a nice catch? A couple plays? Robbie Chosen game, though? No.
Against the Jets?
No. This is not going to be. We will not.
Robbie's revenge?
We will not remember this game as the Robbie Chosen game.
I mean, you might when Mike White comes in the fourth quarter on mop-up duty and just does a little, they do their little bombski again, a little Broward connection.
We'll see. We'll see.
Here is Tua. This was Tua earlier in the week because Tyreek Hill maybe not playing was a possibility, and here's what Tua had to say about the possibility of not having Cheetah, which he does not.
If Reek isn't available, I think Jalen understands his role with stepping up. I think everyone else understands their role as well. It's tough not having someone like Tyreek out there when sort of the entirety of the offseason was built around him and was built also around Jalen. And then now you take away one of those pieces, guys can double Jalen and leave, other guys one-on-one. So, it gives other guys opportunities that, can really do something special for us.
I found that to be a fascinating answer because I felt like earlier in the year when there was a question of Tyreek not playing for a game, Tua sounded almost excited. He was like, oh, Jalen can't wait to let people remind everybody who he is. And now it's kind of like, well, people are going to double Jalen. And it almost like, that's what I'm saying. The vibes were off this week, dude. The vibes were off this week. Much more confident earlier in the year, Omar, with this possibility of not having Tyreek.
Why are the vibes off?
Because they blew it. That's why, dude. That's why the vibes were off. I don't know.
Lick your wounds and move on.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what a good team does.
That's what they were. That's why I'm saying.
You're feeling they're distracted.
I don't know.
You're feeling something's off.
I didn't like it.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
It might be that you got 4 backups on your offensive line, or you're playing with an injured Liam Eichenberg.
He's got an injured
Actually,
Liam
2
Eichenberg.
replacements. So technically 1, 2, 3.
He's been playing with 2 replacements all year. That's like the Dolphins. Every game has been 2 replacements.
Liam's not a replacement anymore. Like,
you're right. He's going to start his 9th game.
You've got Teron Armstead out there. You've got Austin Jackson out there, and you've got Liam. Unfortunately, like your offensive line is.
It is what it
is.
is.
It's 75% impact right now.
I'm hoping. Look,
it's going to be better than the Jets' offensive line.
I think he stinks, but I do think he's in a better position getting the week to prepare. Obviously,
So are you going to say that the season hinges on Liam Eichenberg?
I'm never going to say that. I'll never say that. Don't do that. You've said that way too much today.
It does.
It does.
I don't like that.
I've had
because you want to know what happens.
I've had to come to terms with that for an entire week.
Yeah, but you see, when you say that, I feel like there's Liam Eichenberg holding the standings in his hand, and he just snaps it into his gooch, and like it drops on the ground, and the other team recovers it. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
I mean, I've had to wrap my brain around this, and I've said this to my media colleagues, and they all can't defend against it. The season's in Liam Eichenberg's hands.
It's in Tua's hands.
Okay, but it has to get to.
But he's going to give it to Tua. Yes,
Liam
I understand, but like he's
going
to give it
Liam
to
Eichenberg's hands.
It's only briefly going to be in his hands, but then it's really in Tua's hands.
So
I mean, but it is in his hands. You will acknowledge that it does.
What's standing between? Oh, there's your boy.
I hate him
There's
so
your
much.
boy, Romo.
Look at him. He looks like he's just thinking about Josh Allen right now.
Yeah.
You know. He
Loves
also
to
looks
work
like he's
on
a
his
couple
face.
schnapps in.
Loves to. He does.
Well, did he just not bother to shave?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Why'd you act like a professional? You're on television. You don't think Nance ain't showing up like that?
He had a rough night.
I know.
It's
like this dude was banged up, like going to
booby trap on the river.
What
or something.
the hell's going on with Tony Romo right now?
He loves to cut people in line in the press box as well for the bathroom.
Man,
I mean, he is kind of a little bit more important than you.
No, I told him hit the bricks, Tony. I told him.
Oh, urinal.
What do you think you're gonna cut me in line? No, I got to
He's
get back
Tony
to the
Romo.
booth also. You bum.
We both have halftime.
Hit the bricks, Tony. Romo.
You should have just been
Romo
like,
needs his private
see
bathroom.
if that happens again, you should just be like, oh, did you see that with Josh Allen? He said, where? Distract him, dazzle him with something over here.
He chose to go down a couple hot dogs prior to getting in line for the bathroom, and then he just walks over like he's gonna skip the entire line. Hey, Romo, hit the bricks.
See,
all right, back of the line.
You want to know what I want? I can't have Tony Romo because remember when Tony Romo was calling the Dolphins, he's like, "Oh, Jim, we're gonna be there for that last game, Jim. Bills Dolphins."
Mm-hmm.
I don't want there to be stakes on that game. All right, I want the Dolphins already have this puppy wrapped up so he can be sad.
Is Tony Romo going to call that game?
Well, probably.
There's going to be stakes on it regardless, though, right? Because depending on seeding, but you don't want AFC East stakes on it.
No, I need that puppy wrapped up. I want the Dolphins to go out there. Like I feel like you're nervous, Solana. I feel like the Dolphins are still going to kick the Jets' ass today.
I am very nervous. I'm not going to lie. Last week, Omar was talking about that Dolphins moment coming, and I'm like, no. It's not going to happen. Not now. It's not going to happen now against the Titans or the Jets. It's not going to happen. And whatever they'll happen, those final 3 minutes Monday Night Football, Tobin, scared me. And all I can think about is that was the first domino for the impending disaster that's about to follow. That always happens for the Miami Dolphins in my lifetime. I thought this year was different.
It was an embarrassment. It was.
I thought this year was different, and I still hope it is. But I felt that first domino fall, and I'm like, oh no.
Well,
here we go. Yeah. And this one would be this would solidify same old Dolphins today. It would solidify same old Dolphins today. It would.
I am going to give them
must win
one mulligan for that embarrassment that happened on Monday.
I'm
I will
willing
move past
to do that
it
as well.
You cannot have that be because this is what's going to happen. If that does happen and they do lose today, that game in Monday Night Football will live in infamy. I want to forget about it. I don't want it to ever be a thing. But if this does snowball into a real disaster, all right, not a good snowball, like a piss snowball, all right. If this just turns into something, you're going to remember that forever. I can't have that. Now, thankfully, the Jets are in town. They suck. They've been an embarrassment all year. Their quarterback didn't even want to be quarterback. Somehow he won AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. All right, I know that's not happening again. I've watched enough Zach Wilson to know the other shoe's going to drop. I'm aware.
You kick the Jets' ass today, and I'll feel good. I'm back on board. You have to kick the Jets' ass today. right?
Can't squeak one out.
Nah, you gotta. You can
you
squeak one
win.
out.
I'm fine.
You
a win's a
can't.
win.
No.
A win's a win.
win.
No,
No, you
stop
can't
that.
Skylar
Stop
Thompson
that.
it last year 9-6.
Stop that. A win's a win.
If you 9-6 it today, I mean, we're
you
going
will
to be
get to 10 wins.
I need.
You need to get focused to get to 10 wins.
I need a 2-score win today.
Oh my gosh, you're so greedy.
I'm not greedy.
You're being greedy.
I'm not greedy.
You just need to win. Stop
What
it.
if I told you from the start what my expectations were for this team? I need a 2-score win today, and I want it now. That's what I want.
No, you're not getting that. Stop being greedy.
I'm not being greedy.
I think you are being greedy.
Give the
Why
ball.
can't you just have a 6-point win?
Ridiculous 6-point win against the Jets.
I mean, you can have a 6-point win, and Tehran could sit the final quarter, and we could pull Liam and put the new center in. Like, stop being greedy, brother.
They just smoked this team 2 weeks ago. You beat them by 21 points.
A different team back
They
then.
kind of quit back then.
It was a different team.
So
back
you
then.
think? Let me just get this.
Jets have life
I
now.
just want to be clear about something.
Zach Wilson just threw for 400 yards.
Boys, I just want to be clear about something.
Mm-hmm.
You think that they have faith in Zach Wilson when they wore T-shirts for Mike White last year? You think they have faith in Zach Wilson when they started somebody named Tim Boyle for 2 straight weeks? They don't have
Boyle.
They don't have faith in this guy. He had a fluke win against an injured Texans team. It's over, and I want the Dolphins and Tua, looking at you, Uno, to go out there. I want them to stone cold stun this team. I want them to put them into the mat and forget about them.
Choke them out, huh?
Choke them out. Tap machine. I want Tua to go out there like Josh Emmett yesterday in UFC. Knock that dude out and make him convulse on the mat. That's what I need to happen today. It needs to be a no doubt ass kicking. Cheetah or no cheetah. Eichenberg, unfortunately with Eichenberg. All of these guys out there.
You want them to tap out with Eichenberg.
I want them to go out there, and I want them to get right because I did not like the vibes this week. I'm going to look past it, okay?
Vibes were off. I'll acknowledge that. Vibes was off.
I'm going to look past it.
All the confidence that they had, it got rocked.
Because everybody's had a stinker this year. Now, not as embarrassing as that. I mean, 14 points in 2 minutes.
Yeah, Denver's was embarrassing as well.
But, oh, man, how about Denver yesterday? Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. And no, I mean, nobody was as embarrassing as the Chargers this week. That was incredible.
I mean,
what a chef's kiss end to the Staley era. By the way, can we just talk about something for a second? Justin Herbert's a coach killer.
I would agree with you. I've said that he's on his second now.
Everybody gets one coach.
Yeah,
it's par for the course. This guy's a coach killer.
Yeah,
nobody will say it though.
Unmatched expectations.
No one will say, and it sounds like. By the way, he's going to love having Bill Belichick as his coach because nobody.
I think it's happening too.
Nobody loves.
No shot.
I think it's happening.
You think he's going to LA?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Belichick?
No, he's going to coach Navy. He's going to coach Navy.
No way,
in LA? No way.
Navy.
No.
Get out of here. Dude's going for Shula's record. But it's not going to work out. It's going to it's going to be an embarrassment.
That's going to be great.
He's going to get diced up by Mahomes every single year. It's going to be great. Now he's going to know what it's like having Tom Brady in his division.
You know what? Yeah. I don't know if he would want to be in the division with Kansas City. Not that he's going to be a lot of those cherry pick jobs.
Yeah, there's not going to be many better options than
Washington, Charlotte, Chargers. I mean, I would obviously.
He's not going
to play for that lunatic owner in Carolina.
But,
no way.
Bryce Young kind of looks.
Magic Johnson could charm him.
trash.
I could see that.
No, take him out of my. I don't want him in this.
Magic Johnson could charm him.
No.
Magic Johnson could charm him. But I think I'm with you. I think he goes to LA. I think
he wants the lifestyle. He's single now. Single rating.
Yeah,
Hey,
LA.
that's true.
LA
That's
Belichick.
true. Yeah.
He needs something new on
Or
his
the
arm.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Or the Raiders. Come on.
Vegas Belichick.
Oh, I forgot the
Yes,
Raiders.
Vegas Belichick. Come on.
That is a good.
Possibly.
but
Can't rule that out.
Remember, Tom Brady's the owner of that team.
Oh, that's right.
Part owner of the team.
They're out.
No shot. Unless Brady wants to pull what would be maybe the greatest flex ever. Hire him just to fire him.
Or hire him and then I'm your quarterback again. Haha. You didn't want me. Now I'm back.
Very Mario Lemieux-ish.
Take a quick break here on Gameday Uncensored. Back after this.
Hey, want to see the ugly mugs that go along with our melodious voices?
Do I have to worry about this?
We are on YouTube.
Uncensored continues on AM 560 Sports WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Game Day Uncensored here, 560 WQAM, getting you ready for Dolphins Jets Week 15 from Hard Rock Stadium. If you guys are just joining us, the big news today: Tyreek Hill inactive for your Miami Dolphins, which obviously they're being cautious, and with that brutal ankle injury that he had last week, hopefully we'll have him fully recovered for the Cowboys game, but obviously we'll put a big dent in his chase for history.
Yeah, he tested it out today too. So he went out there, he warmed up, and just wasn't feeling it.
We don't know. We'll have to wait for Mike McDaniel, because I don't even think he was finished warming up by the time they said he's not playing.
That's crazy.
They just.
Do you think? I don't think. That's we know that he's apparently taken stuff into his own hands with going onto the field and all that. Do you feel like they just took this one out of his hands and was like, because maybe he could have gone, but they were too worried about him pushing. Maybe they wanted to limit his snaps. I don't know.
Ultimately, the doctors and the trainers have final say on whether a player participates or not. Tyreek not practicing all week. He would probably be the first player all season to have not practiced and actually played in the game. So, and knowing Mike McDaniel leans towards conservative regarding these decisions, it makes sense. I just hate that it was Tyreek that this happened to.
Of course,
because he wants to go.
Of course, he wants to go.
I think he wants to go. We'll find out after the game.
This has been a magical season for him, and I couldn't imagine being on the doorstep of doing something you were proclaiming all year.
Yeah,
because it's like, here's the thing: it's not like whatever Tyreek Hill goes out there doesn't take away from winning. Obviously, he's very important to winning. So you're not there, you're not able to help your team, and also in the midst of it, you probably have a big hiccup unless this is just a balls out last 3 weeks that he's able to do while coming off of an injury. But yeah, that chase for 2000, which seemed like it was going to happen, you lose it out for all the wrong reasons. Like you were right there.
Yeah, but if he does get it,
legend. Yeah, of course,
it makes it that much sweeter because the last 3 games are going to be. He needs 152 yards in the last 3 games, each one. That would be crazy.
Not a chance.
Oh, why not, Omar?
Because it's insane. 150 yards a game.
It's insane. That's why.
Because it would be ridiculous.
Guess
Although
what? Cheetah's insane.
But I bet you he does put up, if he comes back, he'll put up 200 in one of those games just to flirt. Just to show you, we're gonna be watching that last game.
Right
he'll
now,
be like 170 for that last game, and you'll be like, maybe.
I will say though, with the way this offense has looked, to beat the Cowboys, to beat the Ravens on the road, you might need 150 yards.
Well, I think that's probably what goes into this, though. Yeah. I think that they're thinking to themselves, right or wrong, they are thinking to themselves, we can beat the New York Jets without him.
Yeah,
and I don't disagree with that. Can we beat the Cowboys and Ravens without him? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Not.
We need him healthy for those games.
Yeah,
you don't need him.
I don't disagree with that gamble. I get that it is a gamble because of what you're coming off of. We've talked about must win, don't lose, need to get this one, get right game. All that stuff is true, but it's still the Jets, dude. It's still a team you just beat by 3 touchdowns.
We talked a lot
on the road. You beat him with 3 touchdowns.
About the depth on this team, how good this team overall is. It's not just top heavy with the stars. You prove it today, right? Because you shouldn't need Tyreek Hill to beat this Jets team.
You went out there, that last Jets game, and you ran all over their face. Both your running backs nearly averaged 5 yards a carry. Go do that again. You absolutely obliterate them. You set some things up for some big bomb plays to Jalen Waddle or Robbie Chosen or Chase Claypool. I don't care. But you go out there, you bully this team the way that you know you're capable of, and I'm not believing in some Zach Wilson resurgence. The dude sucks. Nobody wants him at quarterback. All right, they started Tim Boyle.
He was just named the NFL's AFC
Offensive
Player of the Week.
You want to talk about the biggest flash in the pan thing? So was Tommy DeVito. I'm not buying into him either. He's a caricature.
They're winning with Tommy
DeVito.
DeVito.
Calm it down.
Let's slow down, all right?
I'm just saying. You think Zach Wilson was a top 5 pick in an NFL draft,
and they could not get rid of him fast enough.
That is
they had to have a therapy session with him. Say, please, Zach, will you please start this week? Will you please? Oh, please! I know we embarrassed you. I know we've been rats off a ship on you more than I can count. I know we went and got old man Aaron Rodgers to come and replace you.
Might start next week.
I know that we had Tim Boyle come in here and play a couple of games because yeah, that's right. We started Tim Boyle in front of you for a couple of games. But please, Zach,
you need to be humble.
I'm cycling it all through my mind. I can't think of a worse situation than Jets fans in this city with a Zach Wilson win. I literally can't. I'm going through all the scenarios. What could be worse?
I
than
can't
that?
have Vlad walking in here. I can't have that.
No.
I can't have contact with Vlad this week if that happens.
Zach Wilson,
but it's not
beating
going to
you
happen.
in Miami with all these Jets fans down here in December. No.
What you're talking about right now is nightmare fuel, and then that's the only place it would happen is in nightmares because it's not going to happen.
It's not.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it.
Let's all remind the NFL who Zach Wilson is. He's a bum.
Yeah.
Right?
I want Christian Wilkins to use him and just like throw him around like a rag doll. Zach Sealer and him throw him through the tables like the Dudley boys, and let's get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just make easy work of this guy. Von Ginkel, healthy, unhealthy. He's Von Ginkel. He's a man's man.
Yeah.
Go in there, Bradley Chubb. Hey, Bradley Chubb, do me a favor, dude. Actually get to the quarterback. That would be nice. All right, you send around in that real estate a little bit too much.
And also, if you are going to be upset and throw your helmet, why don't you step 6 inches
another
farther
thing, too.
off into the sideline?
Stop beating up equipment and beat up quarterbacks, Bradley. That was really annoying.
What the hell was that? Take 2 more steps.
You would think he was used to it, almost getting quarterbacks. That's like where he lives is like right around almost getting quarterbacks.
The disrespect.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm telling you,
that's
dude,
accurate.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
You know what he's like? He's like that little robot vacuum that keeps hitting the bar stool and you're just can't get the dirt. Like it's always that's Bradley Chubb. Always around.
Having a Pro Bowl season, just slander is just so real with you.
No,
guys.
come on, Omar. You got to admit. I mean, that was brutal last week.
I mean,
You pull some boneheaded stuff like that, you got to get ripped. All right, Tobin's just doing what has to be done here.
All right. I mean, I'm new to this radio rip game.
Yeah.
I mean, having a Pro Bowl season, very respectable year.
Oh, and I'll credit him once he makes a Pro Bowl. I'll be his biggest fan.
57 tackles,
but
6.5 sacks.
After you pull that stunt last week, you got to get ripped, brother.
Keep your head, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
Act like a professional.
You're right.
Fangs didn't
act like you've been here before.
Yeah, you want to know who didn't like that? Fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Your guru. Your guy who
he
brought
literally did have to take like 5 steps, and he would have
been fine.
Yeah,
would have been fine.
2 more steps. 2 more steps.
Taking out your rage on your helmet. Why? Save that energy, dude.
Hey, maybe you have 2 hands on the quarterback. You bring him down.
Ooh, Liam Eichenberg. They just showed him on ESPN. There he is. He's making me nervous. We're riding the Eichenberg Express.
Let's go. Okay. Tua still got that Band-Aid on, huh?
Yeah, it was a big gash, man. That thing is.
What the hell happened to him? Was that a helmet that got
took a piece of skin out of his arm?
The
whole tattoo's messed up.
Was it bitten off?
I don't know. I don't think they could bite it.
Look at this bum.
Zach Wilson, man.
He did throw for over 300 yards against us last year one time.
Yeah. People keep thinking this guy.
Forget about
this
that.
guy's got a cannon. It's on Vic Fangio. I'm putting this game on Vic Fangio. You got to confuse Zach Wilson with your backup secondary.
Guy's got a cannon. Get out of
here. He does have a cannon. He can't read a defense, but he does have a cannon.
Is Aaron Rodgers going to be on the sideline today? Is he out there warming up?
I don't know.
Oh, that would be
doing
good.
Wind sprints.
Yeah. Oh man, the television crews would have been obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So, especially with them talking about he's being cleared play next week.
Tony Romo is going to be all over Aaron Rodgers today. Oh, Jim, look at him. I tell you what, you don't want them winning this game, Jim. And Aaron Rodgers coming. Oh,
yeah. I mean, that is a worst case scenario.
I'll just preview the broadcast.
Hey, Aaron releases. I'm playing next week. Go get the victory. Think about the motivation that gives. Yeah,
I hope he does release it because that will make the Jets fan even sadder.
What's the motivation for Zach Wilson there though? Hey, win this game so we can sit your ass down on the bench again.
Oh yeah, because you believe in him so much.
You're gonna make some team want you. That's what Zach's doing. Zach is trying to make some team want him.
He's a former first round pick. They're gonna give him chances for the next whatever amount of years. It doesn't matter. But the point is he sucks. And go show everybody, hey, he sucks. we're fine. Like you're right. I don't even want to think about it because it's not even. I can't even compute it in my head right now because all I see right now in my head right now is the Dolphins going and winning this game 35-10. That's all I can see in my head. So good. Let Zach Wilson go out there, and you guys can have this. He'll always have it. Everybody has their little run. Linsanity. Zach Wilson will always have Week 14 against the Houston Texans for his career. Good for him. He could tell his grandkids about it. This is the game where he has to tell his grandkids that Christian Wilkins, rocked me like a little baby and spiked me into the ground. This will be the part of his chapter.
All right.
That's what I want.
Yeah. No, I told you the game's on Vic Fangio. Has to be.
Oh, let me tell you something. Fangs, that guy knows how to handle a loss. I'm telling you this week, Mike McDaniel's sitting here worried. Vic Fangio's not worried. He's had failures before. He'd be like, don't worry. I know how to right the ship. That's what Vic Fangio does. Yeah. He rights the ship.
He's done it this year.
Mm-hmm.
When?
Slow start by the defense. First couple weeks.
Oh, you're talking about throughout
he righted
the
ship.
season.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did.
I want to see him respond to a poor performance from his unit, which is what he had last week. And do it without Xavier Howard, do it without Javon Holland, do it without Deshaun Elliott, do it without Jerome Baker. That's 4 starters. You do count that, right?
Offense has to do it as well, Omar. Offense has to figure it out without the starters as well.
Okay, let's focus on the defense. This game is on the defense.
I'm just telling you, both sides are dealing with that, so both sides have to figure it out. Fangs and McDaniel, little game within the game today. Who's going to figure it out better?
Winner's the head coach.
Winner takes all, right? Yeah. Takes the entire team.
I think Vic Fangio would like to challenge Mike McDaniel to a fist fight to become head coach.
I feel like Vic Fangio feels like he's the head coach.
He is.
Like he thinks McDaniel is just like this little guy running around.
He's a figurehead. He's the guy. He's the guy talking to the media because I don't want to talk to the media. Yeah. I got this side of the team. You go over there and you worry about your side.
Vic
all right?
Fangio's gonna be like, you want an 8-minute press conference? I got you.
Like 4
minutes. As Big Fangio, Mike McDaniel can learn a lot from Big Fangio's press conference.
Oh man,
he'll be like, no, yeah, I don't know.
Great job.
Yeah, it's I mean, he lets us punch ourselves out. Question why?
It's a smart move.
we're just like
it's like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
like shoulder roll, catches it. Oh, sorry, Philly shell can't get me. All right, we'll predict some game balls as we wind down and get you ready for Week 15 of the season. Back with more Game Day Uncensored after this.
AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Edmore Sawgrass Cadillac, JM Lexus, and Williamson Automotive.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is game day, uncensored here, 560 WQAM.
I feel like the excitement and joy of this game has been all sucked out of you. You're like, it's game day uncensored.
I actually disagree. I feel like it's been sucked up by you guys because you guys are actually nervous about this game, and I'm not.
Yeah, you want a double-digit win, which I think is ridiculous.
No, I think they're going to smoke them.
Walk out of there with a victory. Just walk out with a victory, however you get it. Give me 3.
I'm with you right there. Just I wanted 11-3. I'll settle for what, 10-4, right? Today would make them 10-4. I'll settle for 10-4. I'm cool with it.
What a bunch of cowards.
9-5 can't happen.
Nope.
9-5 can't happen.
Must win
happen,
today.
But you also don't have to.
No.
You also don't have to settle for a squeaker.
No, I'm just saying, just win. That's all I care about. Just win. I don't care how you do it.
You technically will have 5 of your top 10 players not in this game, and you're just like,
hey,
double-digit wins.
Tobin, last week,
Jets.
Last week, had you just squeaked that win out, went down, kicked the field goal, we'd be pissed today. But you feel a lot better having a squeaker rather than that loss. So I'm just saying, just get the dub.
Yeah, but it's kind of that goes back to the first point we made on the show. Is like they didn't deserve to win that game. It's still a colossal embarrassment to lose that game. But all right. I feel like the Dolphins need to play a much better football game this week in totality. I don't, they're not taking on equal footing of a team. If this was Dallas, if this was Baltimore, hell yeah, I'd be scared. This ain't them. This is the New York Jets, quarterbacked by an all-time bust. Enough already. Like, I'm not doing this with believing in this quarterback. We're doing this all over. It's embarrassing because there's so many backup quarterbacks now. We have to treat them all like they're equal stories. They're not. They got bum-ass Sanchez interviewing Joe Flacco on the pregame. They both suck. They might as well have a competition for, hey, which one of us was able to get further as being a terrible quarterback? Answer, Joe Flacco. But Mark Sanchez almost did it. He also fumbled into an ass. Just relax. Will you just believe in this football team? We've been swaggering around all year, and now's going to be the time you're going to stop?
Yeah, because they're banged up. This is a different team. 1 week ago today,
banged up
I was swaggering into Monday Night Football, and guess what? Half your team's gone. Half your team's gone. 4 starters on defense, 4 starters on offense. Half your team's gone.
They have Jalen. They didn't have Jalen Ramsey for half the season. You weren't scared of the Jets?
I wasn't. He played in that game, I believe, though.
Okay, well, you haven't had Jalen Ramsey for better opponents. Okay, and you've won. Xavier Howard, you haven't had him in games already this year. It's been a thing. You've had the offensive line's been banged up literally all year. They have not had their projected. What do they have for one game? Was it the 70 burger game?
Why are you downplaying injuries? I mean, this team is as banged up as they've been
because
all
they're
year.
taking on a terrible team.
They are. That's fine. All I'm saying is I'm expecting them to win.
They're taking on a terrible team with a banged up offensive line too, and they haven't had their starting quarterback all year.
You're making it sound like I'm arguing that the Jets are going to beat the Dolphins.
You kind of sound like that.
I feel like the Dolphins are going to win.
You sound gutless.
I'm just comfortable with a squeaker today.
Tommy Gutless.
Shrinking, right? The line keeps shrinking for a good reason.
What is the line now?
I don't know. It's like 7.5.
So it's
Solana. Do your thing.
7.5 still. 7.5, but, it was 8. Cheetah's out. Line moves down 0.5 point. That makes sense.
It was like 13.5 last week.
Yeah. It opened at 12.5.
It opened at 12.
But that was prior to the Dolphins losing on Monday Night Football. After that, it dropped to 9, and it's been dropping ever
I'm trying
since.
to see what I got them at this week because we do the picks every week on the show, and that was on Thursday. It was -8.5, so it went down to 1.5.
I mean, Tobin is like, oh, everybody's hurt, but who cares? Dolphins should win by 100 points today.
Here's where he might have some credence and credibility on this.
Thank you.
It is Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is under just as much chaos and disaster as yours is. So they're on
Maybe
their
worse.
They're
worse.
Probably worse. They're on their 10th offensive line too.
Their offensive line sucked at the beginning of the year when they had people quote unquote healthy. Now it's also banged up. Yeah, I expect the big boys to go eat. Also, you ran all over this team.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the game when they basically had quit. So this is a totally different environment. They're kind of fighting for their season, and
They have no
Jets team want to play spoiler. They want to ruin Dolphin season.
No, they don't.
Best way to ruin the Dolphin season is to beat them and then make that Buffalo game matter. Make that Buffalo game for the AFC East.
Great. You can want to play spoiler all you want. That's fine. The ugly duckling wanted to be a swan. It was a duck. Sorry.
Are you calling the Jets the ugly duckling?
I am.
Okay.
And the Dolphins are the swan.
Yes. Tua is a swan.
Tua's got to play like a swan
in December.
And he's gonna finally get that game where he's gonna have nobody can say anything. This is the Brian Flores offense right now. Nobody can say anything to him if he goes out there and he puts up big numbers. They can't say he's a product of Tyreek. So now it's got to be on your shoulders.
This is big today for Tua. It really is.
Sure. I agree with that.
No question.
Because it's a bogus Jets team. No Tyreek. This one's on you today, right? Like go out there.
Look, everything you guys say is fair. Like if it happens, yeah, the worst. But I'm not believing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll look like a boob this week. That's fine, but I don't believe that's going to happen.
You believe they're going to take care of business at home,
Smoke 'em.
especially it is kind of warm outside and it's sunny. The sun finally came out in South Florida. It's only been like 4 days of rain.
Yep.
Sun finally came out. The soil is getting dried up.
Yep.
So it's going to be a little bit steamy out there.
Quickly, boys, let's predict the game ball, which is brought to us by the powerful and capable Lexus GX, now with the 10.3-inch touchscreen. Expand your comfort zone. Experience amazing at your local Lexus dealer. Omar, who's getting the game ball today if the Dolphins win?
I'm going with Raheem Mostert, who I believe will become the first 1,000-yard back for the first time in his career. He needs 76 yards to achieve that feat. You know he can do 76 yards in his sleep, especially in a game where he's going to be featured because Devon Achane has got that turf toe issue. So even though Devon is active, I think this is going to be a heavy Raheem Mostert workload. And the Dolphins are going to dust off their I formation package and show people that they can power you into submission.
I formation,
baby.
Yeesh.
I formation play action. Let's go old school.
Solana, game ball.
First, can I ask Tony Romo who's getting the game ball today?
Oh, Josh Allen, Jim. I don't even care that he's not in the game. I can't wait. Tony Romo's just going to be like counting down the entire game because, Jim, you get to watch Josh Allen after this on TV. Tony, relax.
Hey, Waddle.
Oh,
step up.
That's not how predict the game ball works.
Step up. Step up.
That sounds like
Waddle.
a challenge, not a game ball.
You better win the damn game ball today, Waddle. You better win the damn game ball. I want to see Stephen Ross
waddling 100 times, 2 times.
I want Stephen Ross's hip to pop out of his damn socket today
He
because of how many times
He just
he's
buys some new
waddling.
bones.
Stephen Ross does real stairs, not Stairmaster, real stairs.
He
Okay.
does real stairs.
He does real stairs
that's
every
not
day.
true. That's not true.
How you tell me it's not true? I know it's true.
Where is he doing real stairs at the stadium?
No, at his building. That's what his exercise. He does real stairs.
I feel like they're gimmicking the numbers. Be like, great job, Mr. Ross. 900 stories.
It's a 2-story building.
He doesn't ride an elevator.
I'm going to go predict the game ball. I'm going to go with Christian Wilkins. Double sack day.
Wow.
I think he humiliates Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be talking trash to him. I can't wait to hear it on Hard Knocks. And then Zach Wilson's going to have to cry to his mama and ask to give him a friend's number so he can go console, feel better about himself. Because this is going to be the end.
I'm going to get a couple Power Ranger sellies.
And some hip thrusts. It's going to be a great time. So that's what we got, everybody. All right. Buck up. Get ready. Dolphins, Jets. Enough cowardice over here.
Just win.
By a lot.
Just win.
By a lot. Embarrass this team. Do what you're supposed to do.
Nobody's giving game ball to Eichenberg?
No, because he probably just snap it into his gooch. That's what Eichenberg does, dude. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will talk to you guys next time.
And that's another